All right, we appreciate the Most High for allowing us another human to be here. And we appreciate all those that listen in and follow as well. Those that support, I did see where some of them had gave some contribute. I always appreciate those that contribute toward what we do. So I go to make sure we get this thing right. I saw what direction we were kind of going in on Come Sheet later they call Wednesday night. But Come Sheet that people don't know that going to Thursday. But our goal is to make sure we get this thing right. So what we want to do is I want to, continue to go back and look at our turah so we can see to make sure we're not in violation. And when we find violation, the goal is to fix it. It's not to continue the way we've been going. We don't want to just keep allowing saying, if it's something we've done, something we said, eventually you need to say, well, why I keep saying it, let's just go back and look and make sure. I mean, then there's some things that's open that we're not sure about. We're not sure about, then we need to try to make sure we solidify it. That's how you get this thing right. You can just keep going with the notion of, well, you just pray and ask the Lord, and the Lord will show you. It doesn't work that way. He's going to tell us, just like it said, seek ye out the book of out of Yahuah and reads, and no one of these shall fail. So we get it, and we got understanding to it. You shouldn't go wrong. And that's our goal, to stop going wrong. Get to where so many people start having these little hustle and bustle bumps and stops they get it. People wondering why things not working out for them. You have to start looking at what you're doing. A lot of times people don't consider what you do contributes to a lot of outcome and how things work for you. I know a lot of times people keep wondering why. You have to constantly keep going back over your life looking at where's the compromise, where's the breakdown, where's the miscommunication, where's the association, and all these things got to constantly be reviewed. That's what you do. Everybody got a relationship, you got to review it periodically. Sometimes people do it for the anniversary. They'll go in there, celebrate the anniversary, and look back over where they came from where they started and where they at now, whatever. So that's what we're trying to do with Yahuah. We're trying to make sure where we started and where we at now. And some of us hadn't grown. We only got worse. You can't hear me? The chain rubbing on the mic. I'm jealous in a way. I don't even worry about it. I know jealous people. He want that chain too, don't he? Man couldn't even jump off the ground. I seen that too. Man, he held y'all. That man was just holding y'all back the whole time. I said, man, just holding y'all back. Y'all got the energy. Y'all going. Y'all coming out the ground. So my soul is, man, glued to the ground. Ain't that right? The kept back part of the money. That's all right. That's all right. We appreciate it. Appreciate everybody for what it is. Our goal to get it right. Our young people too. Make sure they. Y'all need to know this now while you're young. He definitely told you need to call your creator in the days of your youth before the Rosh Hashanah comes. Some days gonna come, you're gonna desire you had a relationship with him. Don't wait till everything break down and get torn down and you're on what they call deathbed and you're trying to make a relationship with him. He ain't that type of Elohim. You want to be one that got a relationship before. People try to use people like Koski, Yahuah, who they call Hezekiah. And they'll try to claim like him when he got on his sick bed. I don't know whether people got that from the man told him, remember me now. He looked at according to what he already been doing. That's why he's called him, because he looked at how he was already living. He didn't say, if I get up, I'm going to walk right. If you heal me, I'm going to quit sinning. That man wanted Yahuah to remember him. It's a call me. He looked at the work I've been doing, not what I'm going to do if I get back up, what I was doing before I went down. And Yahuah's called this man and added 15 more years to that man's life. So you got to look at it for yourself. Are you in a relationship with Yahuah, or you have communication with him that if something happened to you right now and you broke down that you can say, call me for what I've already done? No. You're going to be on, if I get better, I'm going to start doing. He don't need no more than people. He's sick of them liars. He's sick of people who going to start doing. He's looking for people doing now before it happens. Anybody can get up after they've been struck down. He's looking for somebody before you strike down, come, get it right. I tell all of you, you keep living, you get older, you're going to fall in somebody's hands. If you don't have no favor with it, man, you might be in trouble. These days you got now, they'll soon be gone. The days you're approaching up on going to be the days nobody's going to be here to take care of you. He told Cub, he said, when you were young, he said, you went where you wanted to go. He said, when you're old, he said, another going to gird you and carry you where you couldn't go. He said, that's signifying your death. Somebody else got to take you to the grave, son. He told a man who he gave the keys to. He ain't telling you ain't got to worry about nothing. You just going to transfer. He let him know you don't get old. Somebody else going to have to gird you. Can you imagine all that labor, all that work? He tell you somebody else going to have to put a diaper on you. Somebody else going to wrap you up. Somebody going to have to take care of you. That's what I'm telling you. Y'all better start considering now. A lot of you stingy, you're sorry, you're stealing, you're liar, you're a hypocrite. But your day coming. You just keep living. You'll fall down. And when you fall down, you're going to pay for it too. I know God ain't going to listen. He going to let you fall. And when you fall, you're going to fall in the hands of somebody ain't going to be able to do nothing for you. So I tell y'all in a good place now. Y'all take advantage of it. Y'all done overtook. But it's coming back on you. You better start looking and considering. Your day coming. You don't know who hand you're going to fall in. So you want to try to get your time and make sure you're doing right by people. So when they come back around, you know, I did the same thing for you. That's just being honest. Keep living. You'll see. A lot of y'all might say, well, I got family, I got kids. Sometimes your kid be the last person to take care of you. It'll be somebody want your child to come and see about you and take care of you. Don't get that in your mind. Who you thinking to take care of you won't be the person. It'll be somebody you least might think, be the person right there to say, I got you, I'll look out for you. And you made no mistake, when you don't belong to people, people ain't going to put up with your junk for so long now. You ain't going to give it so many times to screw up now for somebody to say, you know what, I'm out. Nobody gonna put up with your fools. I'm trying to tell y'all better consider. Yahuah been tuned to us now. He been tuned. The people that watch it in as well, I tell them, don't take it for granted what you're sitting back and what you're listening to now. You can't sit on that sideline for so long before you start looking at getting it right. I'm working on it. Working on it is an admission you ain't doing it. And that's a bad admission when you're hearing it. So he said that day when you hear it, you ain't supposed to harden your law. Isn't that right? He said, not like in the provocation. Not when they tempted me. Not when they proved and saw my work for 40 years. In that way. And then he swore in his wrath, he said, I will agree with that generation. And he swore you ain't going to get in too. All you got to do is keep messing around. It's just a matter of time that man just go ahead and that man and swear you ain't getting in. You in trouble. He the lone person you want somebody to say, I swear. Isn't that right? What you going to do? What kind of work can you do to get in? That man, if he shot against you, he swear to you, you ain't getting in. What you going to do? Y'all young people, I'm going to tell y'all, it's time for y'all to tighten up too and get it right. Everybody got to get it right. Grown people, old people, young people, middle-aged people, everybody. In elementary, isn't that right? The baby on the tick got to get it right. Isn't that right? That's just being honest. Y'all don't, listen, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. Who said that video there with Humpback? Where that fuel truck blew up and burned all those cars up? Now, y'all see that thing, man, that was an inferno. There's no way you make it like that. You think of them people driving, going pretty day like that. Who counting on, who looking for a truck to hit them and blow them up and burn up? Listen, and you ain't going to believe it. And the world kept turning. It don't matter what you do, what happened to you. You ain't going to believe it. The whole world going to keep turning. Whether you live or die. You better make sure you're doing something that counts. I was telling people last night on the show, listen here, you come in here, you need to leave a mark. Not in your drawers either. You need to leave a mark that you came in and you done something. Not you came here and screwed up something. That's enough of them people. Y'all got me? Look at people like Abraham. We still calling that man. That man been gone how long? Thousands of years. Still, because he left a mark. Where your mark at? Yahushua. These people we talk about, these people left a mark. Where your mark at? You don't have one. You just keep going and keep living. I know because you ain't the preacher. I had that stupid mentality too. Everybody in that book wasn't no preacher either. I don't know why these folks got to keep counting everybody being a preacher before they have to do something. It ain't no effect. They preaching ain't no good if ain't nobody hearing it. Somebody got to hear it and somebody got to believe it. Somebody got to put the work into what you're saying. That's what made what the preacher said so effective. It's the fact that there were results. Elohim, he done said a whole lot of things. What if no trees had grown? What if no grass had grown? He'd have still been all-powerful, all-knowing. That's right. He got some traits. He got some evidence. Where your evidence at? Where's your evidence? Or your relation? Where's your evidence in your prayer and your conversation? Let me guess, you don't have none. I'm telling you don't got none. That's the problem. It's time to start getting some evidence. So we got to go back in. We got to start looking through that book. We got to start examining and seeing what exactly did he say, and how do I understand that? Is that what I'm walking in? Hello? Okay. That's just making sure. Well, we're going to get ready to look at this. I'm going to talk to y'all too long. Yahuah willing. Well, you know, the pre-part, they say I had a pre-part. I try to talk to y'all, but I don't think that helped y'all. I'll be honest. I don't think y'all really led the heart to where you're really looking at making no real changes. I think y'all just kind of do what you can, just get by and just try to get back to your miserable lives. for those of you that have miserable lives, because you won't do nothing to change it. Your life ain't got to be miserable. It's just what you put in it. That's just being honest. What you get out of it is what you put in it. Put something in different and get something out different. And that's how you really got to look at it. That's being honest. Go and examine. Examine where you at. Where your relationship? How close, how far? Are you close to him or you fall? If you fall, why you hadn't drawn nigh? Because he said, if you draw nigh to me, I draw nigh to you. So you fall off from him because what? Because he won't move? Why he won't move? Hello, do I have an answer? Why? I can't hear you. I'm a now? Well, he said, if you draw nigh to me, I draw nigh to you. You said, I'm a now? Strength? That's your definition. That's the definition you love for I'm a now?
No.
Stability.
I need strength.
Oh, you need strength. That's 2 checks. Now, that's one. See, we got what you got? Because we didn't move. Yeah, that's what I just said, Pastor.
You said
I'm trying. I moved. I went on you to move. Put that check up there. You repeat my answer. But that's typically we look at. And y'all might say, well, goodness, like he cutting out. You know why I cut at y'all, honestly? I don't want you to miss out. I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. I fail you guys if I don't tell you the truth. If I let you lax and you screw up and you get this wrong, I failed you, which means I failed him. Okay? So, yeah, I mean to be tough on y'all. You can't afford to fail. This ain't something I can make it up this summer. I'll just get it next year. No, you leaving here today. You leaving here today. So everything you got to get, you got to have it right today. Why you got to have it right today? Because you don't know if tomorrow is yours. How much do you have to leave him right now? Do you have enough to transition right now from where you at to transfer over to him? He come back. So, I mean, I don't see why I got no time to play with you. No time I got to tell you the truth. And make sure we go over this and get it right. That's just being honest. I know people, your friend, people that play with you and let you get by and cut your deals and don't be truthful with you and let you get away with what you're doing. This is your life. You managed to screw it up all this time. Now you came, you showed some earnestness, but then you got comfortable. You got lax because you feel like you got in. You're okay now. Heard other people laugh, you can laugh. But where your relationship is? You got a commitment you still got with this man, regardless of what other people do, regardless of how other people view it. It's all about you and him. Y'all got it. And your relationship ain't predicated on what somebody else do. It's predicated on what you do. And when it comes down to it, why you think he put such a divide between us, even with our families? That's a divide. And you have to be ready to separate at any time. We talked about many times with Abraham. You think all his life growing up, he thought, one day the Lord is going to talk to me, I'm going to have to leave him. One day I'm just staying ready. One day when he called, you got to answer. Now, let me say about 90% of my members, don't worry about it, he's not calling. Because you're not hearing. Why would he call you? If you don't hear him, I don't know his voice, why would he call me? What am I doing to recognize his voice? When Yahushua told him, he said, you hadn't seen his shape. He told him, he said, you hadn't heard his voice at any time. So those people have been saying, I thought he talked to me. He said, you hadn't heard his voice or seen his shape at any time. The one he sent, he said, you don't even hear him. There's no way. He was trying to tell him, there's no way you've heard him if you don't hear who he sent. Who he sent going to tell you the truth and warn you about it, what we got to do. Even these young kids, they don't have the chance we got. Y'all ain't got the opportunity. What about young people? Raise your hand. Y'all don't have the time you think you got. You don't. You playing on time you ain't got. We was in school, we were playing, we had time. Nobody was thinking about dying in high school, and nobody had we ain't had no disease with killing no high school kids. You remember that? In elementary, was a disease killing us. Kids couldn't come to school. School shut down for weeks. We were only shut down for Christmas, teacher work day, summer, spring break, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. We wasn't shut down because no virus when he got to clean no school. We wasn't shut down, all teachers missing. Folks can't come. We've never seen this stuff before. Y'all young people, y'all in a situation of time where he's trying to provoke y'all to get it right now. Y'all don't have the time with God. Y'all might be thinking, well, when I get grown, I get older, so I'm gonna left it down. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna make my way back later. That's great. That mind bothers me. Only one person made that decision you make it back. That's him. Did he make that agreement with you? Who told you that? Who told you you'll make it back? Didn't y'all hear I tell him why I don't leave him? I don't have no agreement with this man on. Well, listen, you're allowed to go on and screw up, go on out there and come on back too. Man, we never had that conversation. I'll be telling you a lot. And these people, listen, that's a lying spirit. That's a kazal ruach. That man ain't gave us, he never gave us that commitment. Commitment he done gave us is strictly what it is. The day when you hear my voice, don't you harden your law. And he told you, he said some people already done swore against, they ain't getting in. Listen, just making it here ain't enough to get you in. You can sit right here and still burn. Sit right here and you still gonna burn. Proof, he told you in the 10th chapter book of 1 Corinthians. He told, listen, all those people were immersed. Every one of them. They walked through the Red Sea. Every one of them. Every one of them. He didn't tell, not you. Don't let them eat none of that bread. Listen, what came down, every one of them ate it. When Mushah struck the abad, the strong, when he struck the abad, the stone, and the ma'in came out of it, everybody drank. He said, not them, don't let them drink, they ain't going to be saved. He said, let all of them eat it, let all of them drink it, let everyone get immersed, and every one of them ain't getting in. He said, I'm going to pick the select. That's only elect. This is according to election. You know about that, don't it? 2024, what they getting ready to have? You can run and you can give your campaign speech all you want. It's going to be in the hands of the voters. That's what Yahuah look at. You can show up on Shabbat, Layla, daytime, early, however you want to stay late, come Wednesday, whatever you want to do. It's going to be according to election. That's why he let elections happen. So you understand that. You understand how it worked on it. Okay. So what those campaign, the people running for campaign, what they got to do? That's it. Convince the voters. You got to convince Yahuah why you ain't going to burn, why you shouldn't burn. Can one of y'all step and tell me why you shouldn't burn? Wow. Can anybody step and tell me why you shouldn't burn? Nobody? So how are we going to, what you plan on doing with him? How you going to convince him? You ain't worry about it. Maybe he won't worry about it. Maybe if it's a crowd going in, you'll just kind of ease through. You know what I'm saying? Just stick real, like they said, stay real close and you'll just slip by. You can't be that stupid. Reality should set in. I mean, tell me why. Why you shouldn't burn? Based off of what? What have you done since you heard? Convince him. Convince him. That's scary. Very scary that you people are sitting here and you can't tell me why you shouldn't burn. Other than, I don't want to burn. Is that it? So your kid tell you, you getting ready to whip your child, and your child tell you they don't want to whip it. How many of y'all had to whip y'all kid before? How many of y'all kids say, I don't want to whip it? You say, okay, you convince me. That didn't move none of y'all? So what we planning on telling this man? Surely we do know he's smarter than us, right? Okay, let's go. All right, let's look. Let's Romans 15:4. Y'all already know what's going on in the world. Same thing that's going on every day. Snow advisory, same places. Thunderstorm, Texas, all the way across the Northeast. All the way Minnesota, Nebraska. Snow hitting them, everybody. He devastated the place every day, every weekend. He devastating these people. They ain't going to ever get by. He destroying all the strongholds. He tearing them down for a reason. Everybody got to turn to him. I ain't mad at him. That's what it takes to get us to turn to him. See, when you palau and what you ask, what they call pray, you asking for something, then he know what it takes to get you to do it. He got to destroy your stronghold. He got to tear down your hiding places. That's the only way to do it. We all got places we know how to hide, slither to, not to cover up. Well, he look, I got to overflow them places. I got to stop up them holes. I got to cut off every avenue you got to get away. That way you got to sound at that point, you got to be honest. What you going to do when you ain't got nowhere to run? What you got to do when you ain't got nowhere to hide? Then you got to get it right. Right now, y'all can still hide. So what he got to do, he got to keep devastating that place, tearing it up. And while he's doing it, you guess what he's doing? He giving you and I opportunity to say, you see all this? How long you think it's going to be before it's you? How long you think it's going to be before you ride down the street in one of them tanker trucks Right down the street, and this guy looks awful. He drops something. He drinking that coffee, burning leg. He's oh, blank. And when he look up, he done cross lanes. And you're not going to believe who was in the other lane. It was you. It was you. He's going to have somebody who's going to have a cell phone, and they got to return that text or drop that phone. They reach down to get it. By the time they look up, they don't realize when they went over to get the phone, their hand went with their eyes. The hands will follow the eyes. They thinking the hand will stay here, but since you look down, the hand did too. And by the time they look up, there you go. Now there you go. It's that serious. And we done played long enough. Everybody agree? Mm-hmm. And it's sad that you guys couldn't have nothing to say. What just told me, that man come back, everyone is demolished. Because you don't even have a reason for why you shouldn't burn. If he asked you, what could you tell him? So we got work to do, right? Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. This is Beth HaMashiach, chapter 15, verse 4. Listen.
For whatever Nikatab before.
For whatever was written before.
Nikatab to limit us.
Was written to teach us, to show us, and to instruct us.
So that through.
How well we been doing with that? We already knew that, right? We already knew that, correct? That was written to teach us, to show us, and instruct us. So we're going to go back and try to get it, because I asked you guys to tell me why you shouldn't burn. You guys couldn't give me an answer. I couldn't even get a straight answer from you. Because you said, well, I don't really know what to say. I mean, what do you say? So when we meet him, what are we going to do in judgment? Hello? What are we going to tell him? Hope he can read our mind. Maybe he'll just look and say, I know what you wanted to do, even though you didn't do it. Exactly, he does, and that's why you're burned. See, it's got to be that serious for us to realize you got to do something different. Because as long as we keep thinking he's just going to come back and just going to take us and that's going to be it, the book declares in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10, we must all appear before the judgment seat of the Mashiach to give account for the deeds done in the body. He said whether they were tube or rosha. Now you got to still appeal. Now what you going to do with that? Cat got your tongue. Won't have your tongue on the day of mashpat, because you got to give an account for the deeds you done in your body, whether they've been tube or whether they've been rosha. Hello? Wow. All right. Finish up. Oh, I want to say that in that Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1.
So that through endurance.
Going through without quitting.
And through the nakum of the ketubim.
So going through without quitting, going through without giving up. How that work here? How did that work here? Going through and not quitting. How does that work? Any answers? Yes, sir. So you keep using the E word. Why? Let me ask something. Ask your wife why she looking at you. Ask her. Say, baby, why are you looking at me? I think she's trying to tell you got a check coming. He said enduring, endure, enduric. He used every endure he could. Endured. Now, but what you will look at is how it works in him. So let's look at this. Oh, yeah, you come on. What's that? I can multitask. So what you look at is this. What you say endure. Think about this. So I come in, I want to stop doing something. I'm trying to break a habit, and I stop doing it, right? Well, over the course of time, I don't fight as hard as I used to. So I wind up repeating the actions. So the purpose of the word comes, because a lot of times what we'll do is say, well, I've been clean for 3 years. I've been clean for 5 years or 10 years. Well, the goal is to continue to stay clean. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people use those numbers and you can still fall away. So the fact you look at endurance, sometimes we do stuff, we might think, okay, in doing it, I throw it away. It's going to be too check, because I know it worked before, so I got to have something I can charge for. Get 2 of them for me. Because you'll do, how many of y'all know he'll do something else? You don't want to look back like that. Just take our word for it. It's bad. It was bad. Appreciate you. So now think about it. Going through without giving way. So I resist fornication, adultery. But then it keeps coming. I'm resisting. Now it catches me off guard, and I look at, I've been resisting so long, I gave in. That's the purpose of how we got to look at the word. Because you don't want to look at, if I resist it, it'll just stop and stay. It's going to keep coming back. It'll give a break, but it's going to keep coming back because it knows your weak spots. And because it knows where you weak in these areas and where you struggle, it only makes sense to keep working at those areas. Okay? So this is something we have to start looking at. So looking at the word, we're looking at this. We want to be like the noon. We want to be continual where there's never a stoppage. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal. Not to just, man, the day I got tested and I didn't fall. You do know it's a tomorrow coming. And it's a next week if you keep going. It's a next yard they call next month, a next Shana, next year. So this is going to continue to happen. So it's important we're looking at the debar to make sure we go back, we're reading that, we're understanding that. We're trying to keep alarm when it comes down to not going back. We don't want to I don't want to just resist for the day. If I live, I want my resistance to work tomorrow. I want my resistance to work next week. I want to work next Yari. I want to work next Shana. However long it takes till he get back here. That's the goal. You got to remember, everything that we keep and we doing, we got to keep it till he get back. When do we start keeping Pesach? When he get back. When he get back in. When we want to kiss so-called. All this stuff, we start keeping once he get back. So everything we got to keep. So I also got to maintain my way. How long I got to resist fornication? How long I got to resist drunkenness? How long I got to resist lust? If you got in your mind, I just got to do this for a little time. When I say a little time, just get by for the moment, and then the next thing you know, you wind up falling. We got to look at a different mindset. Our goal is to keep this way till you get back here. Y'all got it. Whatever it takes, that's what we got to do till you get back. Hello? I want to make sure, so you got to understand, so if we got to look at, I got to do this till they get back, I got to make sure I'm real conscious about what I'm doing and understand the word, because I'm depending on this word that he's saying that this is why it was written, to keep me while I endure. So something that's going to be going through looking at people that fought, who gave in through some things I've desired to do or some things I've been tempted by. He said, I can show you some people that did, who answered to the call of temptation. I can show you these people, they didn't make it back. So now you got something to weigh it against. I show you some people who did a whole lot less than you. I just cut them off. So now you can really look at, wow, I feel bad. For the fact that I couldn't give you the count. I can't give a count how many times I screwed up. These people, you can almost basically count some of these people's stuff. Just like the Benim of Yahudah, the son of Yahudah, Onan. And I think 09 is how they had it, and we spilled his semen on the ground because he didn't want to bring up seed to his brother. Let's say it was wicked. He just killed this man out. Killed him. Just killed him. Because he was supposed to do something. He didn't do it. He was supposed to go in, but before, our turah taught that if an ark had a wife, or Isha, that if he died and had no seed, then his brother was supposed to marry him, and he was supposed to bring up seed to his ark. But when he went in, he said the seed wasn't going to be here, so he spilled it on the ground. Flat. He said, it's not going to be mine. He just spilled it on the ground. And when he did, Yahuah killed him, say it was Rosha. How many times we done violated the Torah? And you talking about, he ain't say us that Rosha and kill us? That's the part that should scare us. Those watching here, that's the part that should scare you. This is something we do daily. Screwing up, trying to get around the word, and he killed this man right off. He said the man was Rosha. He just wicked. Kill him. Let the man die. His father was so afraid, he wouldn't even let his younger brother Shayla marry her. He said he's too young. Said, let me just hold on. Let him, give him some time. He too young to get involved. This boy might screw up and he kill him. So this is the thing you got to look at. This is the fear they had for Yahuah. Looking at, I ain't going to put another one in the line then if they say, this man will kill you. How do we get this opportunity now that we get to do all this stuff and we ain't dead? Same Elohim. Same Elohim and we ain't dead. So at some point you have to start considering this is Khan, but how far does Khan go? For Khans. How far does Khan go for Khans? Y'all got it. We Khan. We'll Khan him every time. We'll say what need to be said to get by. We're Khans. He's given us Khan, his grace, and all we do is keep Khaning the man. So how far does Khan go for Khans? That's what we don't know, and that's why we can't afford to keep being cons. Ain't that right? We need to be convicted, not to death, but be convicted enough to realize I played too much. I can't afford it. I'm telling y'all, listen, and I was telling Prince of this, and I tell y'all all the time, nobody gonna be saved. Ain't nobody you gonna find saved ain't lost nothing. Don't happen. Don't fool yourself. It don't happen. If that's what you're looking for, I'm gonna be saved, you're gonna lose something. It's gotta cost you something. Yahushua came out here, he said, we agree? Yes, lost his life. Gonna cost you everything. I tell you, man, was a man had to cut off from his family, everything. Y'all got it? Grew up in the house, same mama, same daddy. Although he was given that father, same father said, that's the only way he known from on the Auryah, from the time he was born here in the flesh. He said, that's the only one I know. This the one I'm sure he didn't look at the man in the face and say, first of all, you ain't even my real daddy. Sure he didn't say that. I'm positive that. No, it ain't written. I'm positive he didn't do that. Not when the TWOY clearly told you about how a child's supposed to be with his father and his mother. I'm more than certain he never done it. So you just got to consider where we at. And you got to consider, is this something y'all really want to do? Not all. Not all. Because there's too many things. Y'all try to keep relationships and things with people. It don't work. Let me tell you something. To be saved, you had to wind up, you'll break more relationships you'll make. You'll end more than you'll start. But it's for the better at the end of the day. It's for the better. Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at my soul. I ain't losing nobody because I stole from them, lied to them, raped them, molested them, or anything like that. I lost people because of a stand I had to take. So at that time, I do just like he told, like Yahuwah said, I count it all joy. At the end of the day, why did I lose them? They were tired of me lying to them, tired of me messing them over, screwing them. That's a bit different. You ain't suffering, you ain't losing nobody for that. But when I lost you because I took a stand for the word, then that's a good thing. That means that my relationship with you wasn't more important than my relationship with him. A lot of us, our relationship with one another is more important than it is with him. You might think it ain't, but it is. Because a lot of things we watch and we see, but we'll tend to allow it to go too long for the sake of peace sake, for the sake of trying to hold on to something. Ain't nothing worth holding on if you're going to pull me away from it. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. What am I going to do with you? What we going to do in Sheol? I keep this great, wonderful relationship me and you got in Sheol. How we going to celebrate it down there? Both of us down here burning. Well, how we going to celebrate the relationship? How they going to work out? People going to be saying, hey, that's beautiful to see families together. Listen, they talking about DFAT break up people. The word break up people. Oh, let's talk about the white sister. The white sister, y'all know, we agree? The white man and sister break up people. What you going to do with the word? Them white pages break up people you read on. Them black, it do. Them white pages break up a lot of folks. Broke up a lot of relationships I had with people. But at the end of the day, is it for the better or for the worse? That's what you got to consider. See, a lot of times you don't look at that. You look at a lot of stuff that we want, that we really desire to do, is really for the sake of how people look at us. That's really how it is. It's really for the sake of how people look at us. People grade you by things and grade you by what they see you with and say, you doing good and you blessed. Versus you look at, then you don't want to have to tell people, I lost this wife, I lost this husband, I lost this child because of my stand for the word, because then people are going to say you crazy. The God I serve want family to stay together. Even though everybody know on their 5th and 18th husband and wife. So, well, what about them? See, sometimes God had to give you somebody different. See, God flip-flop all the time. So everybody you know still with their first one. Now, sometimes you can marry the wrong person and God will give you the right one. Okay. That's their story. So why I couldn't marry the wrong one? See, everything they want to use, they use it for them and who they like. Nobody really want to look at the truth. Because the truth really make you have to sit down and be honest with yourself. When you be honest with yourself, you can see how much you play a part of. You can hurt people because of your stands. See, my end, I got 2 daughters out there. My end is drawing them back and they see Dad ain't running to go get them. They'll tell you that Dad don't jump, skip, how to go see nobody. Dad don't hop, skip to make no text or no phone call. Say, bottom line, how I roll. I missed our baby girl birthday. I said, her birthday gone? I said, I said, oh, yeah, happy birthday. I said, you had been where you were supposed to be? I remember when it was. That's how I ended it. I had time. Ain't no big deal to me. You'd have been where you supposed to be. There's a lot of folk birthday gone. I don't talk to them people dealing, so how I'm going to keep up with it? Ain't that right? And why your birthdays get cut off, you don't get the way you need to be.
Yep.
So that's going to hurt the word. But see, we don't help these people when you're trying to run and you handicap them and you hurt them. People got to realize your relationship with me is contingent on your relationship with him. That's every one of y'all in him. I talk to them. Woo, we talk almost every night, don't we? Go ahead and leave. Lose my number. They know they'll lose my number. Y'all know, I mean, what we going to talk about? Man, he'll hypocrite. Your relationship with me is contingent on your relationship with him. I will cut you off. I will end it. I don't never have to see you again. I don't ever have to talk to you again. That's just bottom line how I roll. I roll with Mr. Yahuah. When he said this is how we roll, that's how I roll. I roll with Yahuah. I'm on his side. Listen, when old people sat down and they committed Qatar, Mushar told them who on Yahuah's side, said let them come to him. You ain't gonna believe it. And all Louis came. And let them know they came. There's one thing that pop up over there talking about, I'm on Yahuah's side. He said, take every man his sword and slay us out. He said, Yahuah will store a barak upon you. He's like, I got to do what? And guess what? And they did it. Hey, he want another just run over there. Take your sword, and I want you to kill your brother. Kill your brother. Kill him. So Yahuah bestow a barak on you. That's tight. Ain't that right? Who wasn't running? Who on Yahuah's side? Come on over. Then you go ahead and the man just told you, now take your sword out and kill your brother. You're like, I ain't signed up for that. The God I serve, he ain't about no killing. See, that's when they start trying to rationalize. Your salvation that come down, it's going to put you on a different status than everybody else. See, everybody claiming salvation. Everybody claiming knowing, but how many people do the man will? If the man tell you to do it, look at the man. That's why you look at Abraham. The man said, he said, kill your only son. Y'all get a son be riding, daughter be riding, and y'all will give your last behind for him. That man had one, and this the one he said, I'm going to barak all Gui, all nations through him. Now I want you to take him, and I want you to make a zabat to him and give him to me. Abraham went on ahead and got it and took it, told his Aberdeen servant, stay here. Said, me and the lad going up. He took him up to kill him. Abraham drew his hand back to kill him. You had to stop him. Malaky had to tell him, said, stay your hand. Abraham didn't go there to play around all that crying on no, oh, 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 Jesus. No, he took his hand back to slaying. He had to stop that man. He had to have something down to sacrifice. Ain't that right? Some got to give up something. It's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you something. Y'all penny-handed. Y'all be the reason why these kids be terrible. Terrible, just terrible, terrible. Husband and wife be terrible, terrible. Because you consent to stuff. You can't consent to people's stuff. You got to not consent. We just taught Ananias Sapphira. Said you make people terrible because you won't take no stands and tell them they're wrong. Pray out. No, I don't support you. You don't realize you just as bad. Well, I ain't trying to lead them. Everybody told you to lead them. Take your stands. Take your stands. But for the fact of to try to keep a relationship or keep people, the book done told you in the 57th chapter book of Yahuah, he said, ain't no shalom to the wicked. It's not to the righteous because you have another agenda. What other agenda could I have if I don't tell you the truth? I got to have another agenda because I ain't want to hurt you. I guarantee it's another agenda why I ain't want to hurt you. See, it hurts you more when you don't know the truth. When you see people going wrong, they bad, won't you tell them? They'll get over it. That being honest, I'd rather just tell you the truth. You're going bad. But you have people there for the sake of, they want to keep peace and they don't want no confusion because you want to keep doing what you're doing. Y'all know who you are. It's dangerous. Let me tell y'all something what's bad for y'all. The fact that you guys are here and you guys have been in the water. Okay, you've been in the Miami. So you had to make choices. You should have made choices before you done that. Now you come out and now you're getting taught. You're getting to hear the word. You're getting to see all these different things that's coming across. You got to make choices. I say, why y'all here? Because you ain't cool no more. Ain't nobody going to call you to hang out with them Friday night. No, you got to sit down and consider why you here. Y'all got it. This is what the man done. He called us to do this. This is what he yoked us to do. He said, listen, I call you to do this. We to symbolize ourselves. This is a convocation. This is what a convocation is. It's when the people assemble themselves. He called the Shabbat a convocation. That's their word. Their word. It means for us to be gathered. We're coming here so we can sit down and hear what is the debar of Yahuah. We're going through and trying to examine to see where we at. When we read the first Berit, what they call the Old Testament, I call it the first covenant, we go through and we read where all the defects and errors happen. It makes no sense for us to come along and do the same stupid thing. Come on, finish this up.
So that through endurance and through the nakum of the Ketubim, we might have tikva.
Let's look at that 17th chapter of the book of 17th chapter, the book of Shaphatym. Come to my mind. Let's see this. They call it Judges. Shaphatym was Judges. So some of y'all can see how to do that, see how they work out too. See where you're at. Listen.
Now there was a Ish. You want verse 1?
Verse 1.
Now there was a Ish of the hard country of Apharim, whose Shem was Mikayahu. And he said to his aim, the 1,000 and the 100 pieces of silver which were taken from you, about which you all are me, and spoke of also in my ears, behold, the silver is with me. I took it. And his aim said, Baruch be my ben by Yahuah. He then
stop. Come back down for hold on for a second. This happened to him. He said even when the kid do bad, you still can find good in it. Because she clearly said here, and he telling him. So the boy knew it. And he said to his aim, his mother, somebody supposed to guide, aim, you know what I'm saying, to guide you in the right direction. That's why I look at the aim. You know what I'm saying? Because you point in a certain direction. I said, don't point that gun at me. Why you don't want to point that gun at you? It should, so I got it aimed at you. Guess what? The mother, aim. She points the kid in the direction. Y'all women hear me? Y'all point them in the direction. That's your job. That's what the aim is. You pointing them in the direction. How do they get in the direction they in? Who pointed their finger at you? All right, exactly. You ain't believe who put these kids out in the wrong direction. Mama. And he said to his aim, the 1,000 and 100 pieces of silver, which was taken from you. Taken. You throw it away? It was missing. About which you cursed me and spoke of also in my ears. Behold, the silver is with me. I took it. They can do that. And his aim said, Barak be my ben by Yahuah. Because you know what they look at? No matter what you do wrong, you'll still be mama baby. Still be mama baby. And that help a person do what, right? You help them be wrong. Because moms don't want to save them, even when they're wrong. It's just a start of what we look at. This is dangerous. That you put out something, but then when it come down you find it's your kid, then we got to kind of change how we look at it. And let Yahuah Barak him, see how we can change this for him. And see, it might make him better, though. Let's see if it get better. Go ahead.
He then returned the 1,000 and the 100 pieces of silver to his aim. And his aim said, I wholly dedicate the silver from my hand to Yahuah for my ben to make a graven image and a molten image. Now, therefore, I shall return it to you. So when he returned the silver to his aim took 200 pieces of silver and gave them to the silversmith, who made them into a graven image and a molten image, and they were in the bed of Mikayahu.
Now, what about Mikayahu? Go ahead, Lee.
And the Ish Micah had a bet of Elohim, And he said, and he made an ephod and household idols, and he filled up the hand of one of his beni, that he was to him for a kohan. In those Yamim, there was no Malak in Yasharal.
And what did they do?
Every Ish did what was Sadiq in his own
That's why I'm here. He don't want nobody to keep looking at doing what you think is right. That's what, see, he's telling you what the problem was. To them, she ain't seen nothing wrong with it. I was going to give it to him anyway. You know what they used to do? You had something for your kid and you went there and you took it, and they found out you touched it before you gave it to them. You know what I'm saying? Beat the piss out of you behind, ain't getting nothing now. How many of y'all remember them parents that they beat the piss? I don't care if it was, I'm going to beat you behind. Because did I tell you to get it? But that's what happened when you don't have no Malak. He starts trying to show them, this is what you do. See, you can cover long enough that you help make them worse. And you find out, see, the aim is wrong because our Torah clearly taught us this. When we learn this in our, when we look at our commandments, that you weren't supposed to have no other Elohims. When he spoke to us, he said, I clearly told, when I spoke to you, I didn't show you any images. So you wouldn't make any, unless you corrupt yourself. So you can see why he'll be a thief and a robber. Look at Mom. Mom's a piss poor example. Mama covered and sook for and still get a baraka when you took something you had no business touching. But you can just see why people continue to do things that spiral out. That's why, and using that, that's why we got to look at the importance of making sure we're not doing the same thing. In our eyes, it looks okay. Y'all got it? And we've learned in the 12th chapter, 14th verse, I think it is, or 14, 12. There is a way that'll seem right. He said, but the end of it will be moot. That's what'll happen. Because what's got to happen with something like this? You got a house full of them. You were clearly told not to do this. All right, let's come on. Let's go back to what we'll look at. Alah Shamuth, they call Exodus. I think we left about the 23rd chapter. We left about the 7th, 8th verse, somewhere like that. Y'all remember? Y'all might get y'all still ready. Y'all get here and get your behinds up. I know it's Shabbat later. 7? Okay, I couldn't remember. I know it's somewhere now. Let me tell y'all why. Because we plan on going back through this Torah. That's the only way to find out where we at. Y'all got it? That's no guessing. We need to go through it and we need to look at it. Anybody around with us, that's what you're going to be going through. We finna go back till he redirects. We going back through him. We finna look at this. I need to make sure where we at. I ask him all the time, if it's anything we done, anything we said, it's like, stop it. Let's just go back and look. That way we're going to make sure we know what to say. And we're going to make sure we know, there ain't no if it's anything. You're supposed to do what, if you're doing what you were told to do, it shouldn't be nothing you shouldn't be doing. Or should be doing. The only way to find out, they go back through the Torah. All right? All right, look. 23, Alah Shamuth. 20, we started at 20, so I'm sorry. No, that's what we started. We read down through them. So, who is Daddy with all these checks? Y'all know who Dad is? Who Dad is? That's Lancaster. Now how he get well up? That's Hayward. $23, 6 or 7? Which one is it? All right, come on.
Keep far from a false charge and do not kill the innocent.
Keep far from a false charge, do not kill the innocent. We talked about this as what they did to Yahushua. Remember that? That's exactly what happened right there. And that's how people come up condemned. So a lot of times people don't know where they're wrong at. That's just like the law now. When the police stop people, get them on violations, a lot of times people do stuff. And the reason why it's such a confrontation, because they don't know the law. The person that stops you do. That's what they do. That's what they train them doing. You don't know it, and you start it. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Might be, but it's still a law, and you're going to have to get this ticket or this arrest. It's stupid to you because you didn't know it, and you just got caught in it. It won't work in the day of mashpat. In the day of mashpat, if you're guilty of it, you're going to be convicted, which means you're going to Sheol. So the only way to make sure is to learn the law. That's what they have to do, learn the law. They tell you, you know what they tell you? Ignorance is no excuse. You know, I ain't never know that. You ain't gonna believe it. You still getting a citation. You still going to jail. Okay, let's see.
Keep far from a false charge and do not kill the innocent.
Hold on, wait. This, okay. Do not kill the innocent. So we know they were guilty on that, right? Okay. We actually stopped at 7. 17? I ain't remember what that for. Let me just, slow. What? Let me see 8. Let me just look. Let me just make sure we at. Let me glance. You should not take a bribe for a bribe. Well, okay, that's right. Keep from having a clear sight and subvert, which means overturn the cause of the just or the sadat. Okay. What's 9? Let's see. You should not oppress. Yep, I remember that. You should not oppress a stranger. Well, you a stranger. Okay. You shall sow your land for. Yep, we did read that. And gather in the year. So we get our farm back. Y'all know how we gonna plant. But on the 7th year, you shall let it rest. We did read that it would be fallow until, so that the needy of your people may eat. Okay. Whatever they leave of the beast. Okay, come on, I'm sorry. 6 days you should do your work, but on the, okay, we did talk about all your female, yep, Shabbat, so we understand that, right? So that come up, that's tight now. Now concerning everything which I said to you, be on your guard and do not mention the name of mighty ones. That's right, and let not them be heard from your paw, your mouth. Okay. 3 times in a year, you should. We did read that. That's right. Should keep the muhad to me. Come on. You should observe. Yep, we did read that. Feast of unleavened bread, which is a masut bread, masut lakam. Okay. Feast of first heart. Okay, I remember that. What they would call Pentecost. Yeah. 3 times a year, your meal shall appear. That's right. We did talk about your Zechariah. Just making sure we talked about. Y'all remember what book, what right I used to, for this? He said EU. You said that? I know. I heard it voice. That was him. You said I was talking about Ian. I heard that voice. I know my son's voice. All right, 18.
You shall not offer the dam of my zabak with leaven lakam, nor is the fat of my muhad to remain overnight until morning.
You should not offer the dam of my zabak with unleavened bread. Okay. Nor is the fat of the muhad feast. What do you put for feast? Kagi. Okay. Kagi for feast. To remain overnight until the morning. Okay. So, it makes sense why he bled that night. Well, bled that day. Because you weren't going to offer it with the bread, unleavened bread. Nor were you supposed to leave the fat, the kagi, to remain overnight until the morning. And that's why we know they had to get him down, right? So y'all understand the point. I don't think they had the mindset to understand it to that degree. They were trying to keep the muhad, but it worked out for them because it had been a violation. Yahushua was coming for us wouldn't work if he was in violation. Because it was coming to try to fix something that was wrong. So it had something been wrong about him, like a bone of him broken. All that would have totally violated anything he was doing. It avoided out anything he was doing for us. So you can see where he used their kataim against them to benefit us, to that the katar wouldn't be broken, the scripture, the writing. Y'all got that? He said if he called them Allahims to whom the Debar Allahim came, what did he tell about the katar? He said it couldn't be broken. So he made sure of that. Y'all got it? He said, I said in your turah that you were Allahim. Y'all know, and other people recognized you as Allahim. They understood you as the mighty ones. Y'all got it? We devalued ourselves. We deflated ourselves because we ran after everything these people had. We compromised in order to keep relationships, in order to be well liked the people. And it's human. It's natural. Who don't want to be liked? Anybody? I don't care about people like me. First of all, you are mentally retarded. That makes absolutely no sense. I don't care who you are. You tell me, I don't care what people, who now they're going to try to act. I don't care what nobody think about me. Because something's wrong with you. Something disturbed with you. That's no, okay. Why Yahushua want to know who did they say he was? Surely you got more sense. Why you worried about what they think about you, who they say you are? That's nature, that's human. Everybody want people to speak well of them. Everybody want people to like them. It's not possible when you take a stand for Yahuwah. In order for everybody to like you, you are constantly compromising. You appease, just like Joe Biden, to get people, look, he switched over to everything. Whatever he found at the master like, that's what he want to support. He makes his decisions off poll numbers. He'll make his decisions off of what's right. Same thing with Trump. They're not looking at polls. They're looking at polls versus looking at what the Yahuwah say. That's the way all of us got to do. You can't worry about people liking you. When it comes down to your salvation, you have to fight past it. That's a part of endurance. It's normal for people to want to be liked, to want to be loved. You are human. But now you have to break protocol when it comes to the word, because what I'm going to do, you're not going to like it. But guess what? My soul. That's how you got a way to measure it. But you'll try to compromise, try to fit in. All right, come on.
You shall bring Rashith of first pari of your soil into the beth of Yahuwah your Elohim, your all. You shall not boil a young goat in the milk of his aim. Okay. Behold, I am sending a Malaky.
The first fruit, when you take it in, he wants you to give it to him. And then right, and he told her, he said, I desire the first pari, the first fruit. Come on.
Behold, I am sending a Malaky before you.
To do what?
Guard you in the Darak, and to bring you into the Malkum, which I shall prepare, which I have prepared.
So how we understand that I'm sending a Malaky before you to guard you in the way? How we understand it? What you got, John? Say it louder. How? So you say, yeah, you answering for yourself? Because you said message sent before. Yeah. No, I would use Balaam. When the Malaky came and he walled them in, because when the donkey ran out in the yard, ran out in the field, then he walled them in to where he would keep. Remember, he's trying to guard you to keep you in the way, not to lead you. Coming out of Mizraim, he led them out. He wasn't guarding them. Here he was using something in the guard. Here they use it, I think in the English they say to keep you in the way. The guard, we're saying the guard is this, to keep you in the way. And then their purpose to keep you from getting out of the way. So now, how does that work today? Hands. Yes, sir. Awesome. With the rod and the shepherd, exactly. That's right. And plus, when we go back and we look at the word, that's what he's using. When he told Yahushua, when Satan told him and tempted him and wanted him to die, jump off of the cliff, he told him that it was written that he would give his Malaky charge concerning him, which means they were responsible for him, that lest he should fall and dash his foot against a stone. And how it worked, they did it. Now, one of them broke cloud and came from there. You don't realize every one of these people that's speaking are messages. That's why he didn't do it, because he came and he told you. That's how we know they actually did it, because he told him. He says also, Ren, you shouldn't tempt Yahuwah. So the Malakys did it. Otherwise, he'd have fell down there, and he was going to tear them pretty feet up. Hello? See, they were looking for an angel to pop down with wings. No, what he said, he actually did it. He gave them charge, because the word is over us. You're not over the word. So when you take it and you follow it and you let it subdue you, then guess what? It's got the charge over you. It don't have charge over you when you still committing sin. You're just going to get the repercussions of your violations. Y'all got it? Let me see this right quick. 7:1 right quick, Romans. Because that's what, before you give me that, then we'll go back and we'll look at the statement. Other one, give me that Malaky chapter 4:4. Romans 7:1. Let's see what it says. Romans 7:1. Listen. Hold on, you gotta cut your mic on. You know they can mute yourself and keep cutting on and off because you'll make that switch weak. Listen.
Or do you not know, Akeem?
No, or do you what?
Not know, Akeem.
Y'all hear what he's saying? He says, so you don't yada. So you don't yada. You don't know. What do you want? What you don't know?
For I speak to those knowing the Torah.
That know the Torah? What would they know if they know the Torah?
That the Torah rules over in each all the Yamim of his Kai.
Let's see what happened in Matthew Yahuah chapter 4:4. This is why people go out and start lying because of Matthew 4:4. Well, I'll go down by about 5 or 6. Listen.
But he answered and said, it is katab, that each shall not kai on lakam alone, but on every debar that proceeds out of the paw of Yahuah.
He's talking about him living because he wanted him to take the stones and turn them into lakam, bread. Come on.
Then Satan took him into the Kadesh city and had him stand on the pinnacle of the bed top of the Mikdash.
Mm-hmm. Sacred place. Listen.
And said to him,
what are you telling him?
If you are the ben of Elohim,
tell him what happened.
Throw yourself down.
Listen to that. What happened?
For it is katab that he shall amar his Malaky concerning you.
See that? He going to command them concerning you. What happened?
And on their hands they shall bear you up, lest you shall strike your regal against a bond.
And what did he tell them?
Yahushua said to him, it has also been katab, you shall not try Yahuah your all.
See that? So when you look at them bearing him up, they did kill him. He made him responsible. He took his son and put him under the Torah. That's the same thing we are. We're taking us, if you become here benin, then the Torah is responsible for you. Because this is life. And the only way you're going to obtain it is you're going to have to follow it. You're going to follow it Sadiq. You got to follow it right. So doing right, it did. It kept him. When you read in the book, you now to him that's able to keep you, what was it again? From falling. He tried to get him to do it. He wouldn't do it because he knew the Torah. They were responsible. I'm putting my son in your, I'm putting him under your care. If he followed it just like it is, he shouldn't err. Shouldn't be no defect. Why are you erring? Why are you erring? Wow. So we found out how they erred in the 28th chapter book of Yeshayahu. How they err?
Wine.
And?
Strong drink.
What were they?
Out of the way.
And behold, I set my Malaky before you. To keep you well. So when he was telling them they were out of the way, so you didn't allow the word got dominion over you. Why didn't you follow it? Because I clearly told you about the consumption of wine. That's right. So they shouldn't have erred had they allowed them if they'd allowed themselves to come under subjection. These people that don't do the understanding. You overstand. This is stupid. You understand because you're under the Torah.
Yes.
You ain't over no Torah. Right. I don't know why these niggas think they come with some clever statement. Are you over the Torah? You're not right at the Torah. You are under it. Right. Sub. It's over you. That's what he told. It's over, man, long as he lived. So all of the writings that they marked us to do something, he can't say, well, you ain't Moshe, I ain't got to hear you. You got to hear every one of these writers. You got to follow everyone. You got to follow every ritual. And he made them responsible for that. And it's the same thing. We got to come back and look at how we been good stewards about the responsibility he given us. Because you got a responsibility too. You got to keep it. Hello? You got to keep it. Which means you have to have an acknowledgement. Your keeping it is acknowledging of it. Your acknowledging of it is doing what it told you to do. That's how you keep it. By you doing what it say do, regardless of where this put you at with somebody that's in conflict. Only person I'm being in conflict with is going to be a sinner. You're a sinner. It's going to be a conflict. It's going to be a problem because you don't want to hear. You don't want to do something. Or I want to tell you something that's wrong. That's not really going to be a conflict. Y'all got it? And that's what we got to be mindful of. We'll go back to what we have. 23rd chapter, where we left out, 18. 23, Alah Shamuth 23:20. Listen.
Behold, I am sending a Malaky before you to guard you in the Durak, and to bring you into the Malkum, which I have prepared. Take heed to yourself before him, and obey his call.
What happened?
Do not be rebellious toward him, for he shall not pardon your transgressions, since my Shem is in him.
Now, let me see. So he spoke backwards, what we would call backwards, because you should have been told it first. But he tell you, I send the Malaky before you to keep you in the way, to guard you in the way. He wants you to be aware of him, and now he wants you to obey his voice, because the whole, and not to rebel against it. This is something y'all don't do. A lot of y'all really hard-headed people on obeying. Y'all understand, as a whole, the way y'all understand me? Y'all very disobedient people. Because I had to tell y'all some stuff over and over again, and it's very dangerous. Because he told you to take heed to yourself before him, and what is it, Shama? What they put for obey him? Shama. That's hear with the intent to do. His call, his sound. Do not be toward, for he shall not, since my Shem is in it. So all these things you got to be real mindful about, okay, when it comes down to getting the order. When you talk, I know some of y'all look at, he's just trying to put himself there like Alah. He's trying to scare people. But at 10, 16, we had to go get it myself. He that heareth you, he that heareth not you, because you're going to be saying what I told you to tell him. Tell me, how that benefit me if you obey the book? I mean, well, how I'm going to take advantage of you? Since it's his right and you get to read it when I'm telling it to you, how am I going to be able to get over on you? Where's the get over on you at? Where's it me trying to make myself your daddy? The man said, he was telling these people, listen, you need to make sure you listen to what he tell you to do. Don't be rebellious to this man. He's not going to pardon it. He said, my Shem said, don't rebel against him. But, that's how we operate. Come on.
But if you truly shama his call and do all that I say.
Why we had to put truly? That's kind of extra. It's kind of extra. Now you start getting your adverbs and adjectives and different things like this that you start putting. Why I got to put true? Why don't you just say if you obey his voice? Because you know what you can do? You can obey and not be true with it. It ain't in your heart to do it. You're not considering the severity, the consequences of why you need to do it a certain type of order. So when you do it, it got to be done in the mind. Look at that, truly obey. You go in 22 of the book Yahuchanan, he talked about Elohim. He told a young lady that she should call. What was it she should call? She didn't know what. She didn't yada. He said, but we yada what we know. We yada what we should call. He said, because Yeshua is of the Yahudim. He said, but the time is coming when the true, the people that should call him, the Amat should call. He said they're going to shakar him in Ruach and Amat. He said, because that's what the Abba is actually seeking. Elohim is a Ruach, and they that worship him, they got to do it in the Amat, and it's got to be true. He said that's the only way to do it. Now, he said that's the time we in now. So if you look, he was sending people to try to be true then. Because he just said obey. The fact that he said truly. If you truly obey. If you really honest with, let me tell you something. It's some stuff just like we looked at having an admiration for, a deep respect for. There's some people respect. They say, I wouldn't do that because of respect I have for him. He said, I want you to have that for me. Mm-hmm. And the only reason we have these kind of relationships and people doing the thing they have, because being men, when I say men, being formed in the flesh, the only way we understand anything really, we have to basically see it from a man-type standpoint. There's some people that will walk in, they such a high celebrity people, it'd be like, oh, I can't believe it's them. Wow. I'm like, I'm starstruck. He said, put that time 1,000 for me. Put that time 1,000. There's some stuff that people just truly love to death. He said, I'll let you love it to death. Put 1,000 on that and do that for me. See, because I could tell you that, they had a deep reverence or respect, but unless you see it done from a man point of view, you really don't understand where you need to be. Just like he told them, obey. Why would you have to tell them truly? Because I mean, I really got the exam. You said, but I did it. It's like sometimes kids, how many of y'all done told your kid to do something, they did it, but you ain't like the way they did it, because you could tell it was an issue. So they did it, but it wasn't true. To you, it wasn't true. Am I correct? You ain't going to believe it. I'm him. He said, yeah, but you ain't true with it. Yeah, so we all understand. How many of y'all told your kid to do something? They've done it, but you could tell they ain't want to do it. You could tell it was a problem. That make a whole lot of sense. Am I correct? Yeah. So what we're going to say? We don't understand that? But I did it, though. I don't like the way you did it. And sometimes you're so pissed, I hate you done it. You shouldn't have done it, because all you did was just made me angry. And guess what? That's how Yahuah look at us. Because he look at, it's the way you done it. He said, what I'm telling you about doing, obeying, it's got to be with a type of reverence. It got to be with a type of sincerity with it. And that's what we're trying to examine. Something has to separate us from everybody else. We the only people keep Shabbat? No. Plenty of people keep Shabbat. But everybody got a little difference with it. So we're trying to make sure we really come to grasp that whole concept of what he's trying to achieve from us. Think about when we get finished, why are we so tired? Because we always embodying so many other things that we got to do, and it's just working way, and we still that struggle of trying to get back, because we flesh. And it's trying to break every will to a point of making it submit to his will. The thing that come and agitate us, we try to say, I can still do this and still do that. And I tell you, you just can't do it. It's just sad. Yahushua showed us the easiest and the best way to keep it. He went to the grave. There wasn't nothing he could kind of do something like, nope, nothing. That's how we learn Shabbat. That's how we really learned it. When Yahuwah told us that he rested and he will refresh, he needed, how we understand? So what exactly did you do? What did you do? He said, I didn't do nothing. So he sent us to bend down here, put him in the kabah, the grave, keeping Shabbat. He stayed there the whole time. He didn't get out there after Shabbat. Now, there's other people that'll say, well, that's why I don't do nothing, just like he do. But then the heart got to be right, too. So there's so many things that we're trying to really grasp about this whole thing. It ain't just about the Shabbat. A lot of people put a lot of weight on the Shabbat. But it's so many, that the case, he just gave us one of them all. It's so many things. And then he started teaching us how to implement it. He taught us how to live with one another. That's something we need to know how to live with one another. A lot of he realized, okay, you got to leave, there's no way, y'all going to have conflict. So let me go ahead and put in how you settle every conflict. Let me tell you, I don't care how pissed, how stuff get bad. If you see some of Rashida go off the other way, you get it back to her. Because it ain't that bad. It ain't that serious. Especially, I want you to see how the turah still has dominion over you. Over your feelings. That I don't care when I get pissed, I just like that. Okay, piss yourself right on there and do what I told you to do. Piss till you empty. Because the turah still has to have dominion over us. That's what he told her. He said, I gave him charge over him. If you're going to be saved, you're going to have to come under subjection. You're not going to be saved, you do what you've been doing. Okay? That's for all of us. So for me, I had to look at stuff like, why you got to tell me the truth? Yes, sir. But if you obey his voice and keep it moving, because something need to be emphasized. I need to make sure you understand that. Isn't that right? There need to be emphasis on it. We talk about adjectives. See, when they write, people don't realize English writing. I'm not, but they write in a certain way to give them a direction or an identity towards something, okay? And a lot of times people don't realize that. You'll just put things down. But these people, they look at them being scholar, they write with a certain type of code to identify. Y'all got it? Like adjectives will somewhat identify. You know what I'm saying? You might say, look at the red car. You know what I'm saying? They get more specific about what we're saying. So he want to get down to the nitty gritty. I want you to truly obey. I don't want you to just obey. I want you to be true with it. You know what I'm saying? understanding what it is. And this is what get us. When he said here people were destroyed, what was it about?
Lack of knowledge.
That's why they were died. That's what they lost, knowledge. They had no doubt. He realized, why? Listen, there's no way. Listen, one or two things. Are you willing to doing this or you just don't know? These are the two great he looking at. So he can start looking at, I'm kidding these people. He said, they destroyed because they don't know. So it was needful to get them somebody to get them what? Understanding. Y'all got it? People need to know what? They need to know the severity of. Shaul wrote about the severity of Elohim. Why do you think he destroyed all those people? So what you think it'd take to kill you? If I kill 23,000 people in one day, what you think it'd take to kill you? I wiped out people. I wiped out hundreds and thousands of people among these people so I could get fear from these people. The whole time while he was doing that, because he was serving him out of people. I'm cutting me up people out from these people. I'm doing just like I did with Abraham. I took somebody out from a people. And me serving these people, that's all I'm doing. I'm just taking me up people out. Hello? Just like they have when you got cancer. They'll go in, they'll operate, they'll cut the cancer out. You say, you know what? They had to take, I want half of my stomach. You say, what? Oh my goodness, I know they're painful. Yeah, because they had to get the cancer out. So you had a whole stomach, but in order to save you, I had to take over half of it. There's a lot of things had to be done. Cut a leg off. Amputate. A lot of things had to be done because you're trying to remove something because it becomes critical to the rest of it. And that's what Yahuah do to us. When he find you as critical, I got to remove you. That's what get you, when Yasharal got, get you out of my sight. He was like, I had to serve you. He had to separate them. He had to separate us from these people. So he could come along, then he could correct the set of people that he kept, and then he could get us back to a people, till now he can bring us back together. Hello? All right. I know what y'all did. Let me tell you something. Us, with Yasharal, were like Simeon and Louis. We wouldn't do nothing but a bunch of killers. He said, Yahuah told, he said, I got to divide them. I got to divide these people. I got to separate them. Hello? Simeon and Louis were like this. Simeon, his name, he heard it. Simeon, he heard it. And Louis, you already see what he did. You saw when Musha said, who on Yahuah's side let him come? Who came? And just happened to have a sword. So when he said, every man kill their brother, it's already in my gene pool. We done kill, listen, we dug down a wall. When Yahuah heard about what we did, he said, man, y'all done shame me among these people. He said, man, listen, these boys, they instruments of cruelty. Ain't that right, Karen? That's what he did. He said, he got in their anger. He said, man, they tore down, they dug a wall down. You know what they take to tear a wall down? Listen, man, we killed everybody in the city and took the women. That's what we looked at. When we found out they had raped Dinah, our aunt, they said this thing shouldn't be done in Yasharal. That's what we looked at. Ain't no raping in Yasharal. So what we did, we convinced them that we're going to make a treaty with them. We're going to give you our women, you give us your women. They said, deal. They said, we can't give them to nobody ain't circumcised. And because Shechem hard was for Dinah, Dummy went and his daddy convinced all the men to get circumcised. And when we found them jokers laying on that moaning and groaning, we came in the tent and killed every one of them. And took their women. It's all business. Wasn't that personal, it was business. It shouldn't have been done in Yasharal. Even Shaul said, being crafty, I caught you with guile. That's all he did. I just caught you, hey, being crafty. You raped them, we made you pay for it. Y'all got it? So we learned whatever you do, you're going to pay for it. I know I'm going to pay for it later. You don't want to pay for this later. Hello? All right. He talk about despising a thief to satisfy his store. He steal to feed himself, not steal to just be stealing. Okay, so listen, but if you truly
Shama his call and do all that I say,
what happened?
Then I shall be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries.
They don't want to know. They don't want to know why he. They want to know why he helping their enemies. Hands. Why he helping your enemies? Tell me, Karen. I can't hear you. Somebody else tell me why. Bishop. What else we got, Ray? That's right. Won't obey his voice. And he said, and the conjunction is the and do all I say. You gotta do all I say. That's how I'm gonna be an enemy to your enemy, and I'm gonna be an adversary to your adversary. The problem you got, when I say you include me, your enemies are strengthened because you ain't did everything I told you. You know who you like? Shaul. Baraka be the Shem of Yahuah. Why? I did all that he commanded me to do. So we can't afford to keep living like that. We need the favor, concede. That's the favor. When in order to get the favor, the answer's him. I can get on my knees, I can pray all I want. I can screw up them knees, I can holler, I can cry. I mean, just keep going and going. Son, what the book say? I'm going to say him, tell you to do. Son, truly obey what I'm telling you to do. Truly listen with the intent to do it. Do all I tell you to do. Don't start picking and choosing. Do all I tell you to do. That's how I'm going to be an enemy to your enemies. That's how I'm going to be an adversary to your adversaries. Listen what happened.
For my Malaky shall go before you and bring you in to the Arats of the Amorites, the Kittites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, the Chechusites, the Jebusites, and I shall completely destroy them.
Listen, you see that? All these people, all these goyim among us, he said, I'm going to go in and I destroy all these people. My Malaky going to go in and kill all these people. Listen.
You shall not shakah their mighty ones, nor serve them.
And you think we don't? We worship and love everything these people got. These people make gods. They'll make them up for you. I was looking at the news, matter of fact, today. Was it the day earlier? I was going to video and show y'all. Amazing. They were showing about that owl. And them people still been going worshiping that owl up there in California. They were showing that thing blazing. Oh, they still going. They were showing some people interviewing them. They still going to that owl worshiping, taking them things up there and sacrifice. They still go. They showing it burn. They ain't tell you what they doing. I know they sacrifice it. Don't make no sense for them to go. See, this thing come all the way from Babylon. See, that's why California getting torn out. These folk been out of work. Let me tell you, I tell them flat foot. Everybody in California, everybody in New York, riding. I'll tell you what, these people here have been the leaders, and everybody have followed behind these people. These folks play games. These states have set up bad protocols. They've been rotten. That rotten statue they got called liberty. They need to tear it down. That's a Babylonian god. And everybody come down to that statue to call it liberty. They got that junk from Babylon. Everything they got, they stole it. They got that owl sitting up in California. And people have, growing up, who didn't want to be a Hollywood star? Who didn't want to be an actor? Everybody want to be a star. They made it glamorous. These people go right up here in their Polaroid theater. Who all went up there and seen that stuff? We want it. Huh? But you remember seeing all them things up on top of that building? But y'all remember seeing that stuff all the time? You remember seeing all that? I've never seen anything like my life. All little idol gods sitting on top of that stuff. Something like, I can't believe this stuff. These people got junk. All that junk they had in it ain't nothing but idols all around that place. And these bastards get this thing. First, I want to thank God. That's why I told you I don't use God. I don't pay these people no attention. These people, anything is a god. These people have all these statues. They'll get right there. They're supposed to watch the image. Where they at, they need to show you the outside, let you see it. It's called Babylon Court. You got to go through Babylon Court to go down. Babylon Court got idol gods all on the top of it. Listen, they're all on top. Listen, it's a big round. All their gods are sitting up on top of this thing. That's why they get a little image man. That's what and guess what? It's gold. The man told you when I showed it, he said, let you corrupt yourself and make one. These trophies, my kids didn't play the sport. I remember they got some trophies my aunt brought them now, which I had got them for baseball. Baseball, yeah, great athlete, terrible. Them kids was there some of my time out there, they were terrible out there. They were honest though. And she had brought them over that stinking when I got them trophies. I walked them straight there to the track can. I explained to them, let them know. These trophies didn't make them. Yeah, this is something they made. Oh, I did. I took right there, throw them straight in that track can. He might have done it. It's hard to stay. I know they were pissed. They looked at all the kids how they want them. I held my integrity. Y'all hear me? In the trash. Come in the house. My wife, family, they try to do that stuff. They break her down. She'll break down. She'll break down for her. They put that pressure. They're women. See, they're president women. They don't cross me one time. They already know. I'm the wrong nigga to cross when they come to my kid. Man. Don't try it. I'll wipe them all out like Yahuah. I don't play them games. Don't bring nothing. If I tell them to do, don't bring it in my house. I don't want nothing to do with it. Throw the junk in the trash. I don't want it. I didn't raise them with no trouble. I let them know y'all played. That had nothing to do with your ability. This is their stuff either. I threw it straight in the trash. We walked right in the house. It's not coming in the house. I know folks, because look, a lot of this stuff played the same thing. These athletes that kill themselves for that trophy.
That's right.
That boy sat there, fell out, hand locked up, that died on the field, and all he want to do is get back on the field. Some stuff, what part they bragging on he getting ready to come back? Man, I said, look at him, retard. You need to sit down and pray. You told me you died out here. You ain't have an issue where I broke my leg. You died here. You died at the hospital. Niggas crying. They had to cancel the game because they were crying so hard. And you ready to jump back? So who can guarantee this won't happen again? Because you running into people. At some point, for you as a player, if you died on that court, you died at the hospital, and you still thinking, I got to get back out there. I got to try to play. At some point, you got to start to get your spirit out of thinking, man, that's scary. That's scary. I almost died. Because you're thinking, all these people play all the time, none of these people died. That means that man was hunting for me. That's how I look at it. He was hunting for me. Be like, they don't even get in their mind to think about that. What don't make people think about, this ain't no freak accident. That man hunting. And when he hunt, he catch what he gonna get. Y'all got me? He caught exactly who he want on that field. All them jokers crying, they cry long enough, they right back out there, they forget it, keep playing. That man try to warn everybody in them stand, watching that game, and on that field. Y'all better pay attention. You'll be next. I come get them on the field. I know for the player, they could have won it, they could have went to. Man said, man, I did this. I get the attention of millions. I take down one, and still they don't understand. I'm telling you, man, you want to just get something. All he needed was one person to catch on and realize this man will come get you. Your status in this world won't protect you. Years ago, it looked like, man, people with money and people famous didn't die. It looked like stuff didn't happen to them. Them about to stay in the news now. For when you remember singers going to court, being locked up, growing up in the 80s for drugs or locked up for gangs. Nobody heard no refusal like that. Now every time you look around, about to sit in court, another joker walk up in the court and set dope. You sitting up at it. When you ever seen it before? Who does this? I'm sitting at the table right here, defending the table, and somebody walks up from behind me at the table and puts some dope in my hand. Dwayne, come on, put that check on the board. What are you listening to, nigga? And that never would have made it. Why would you be listening? Never would have made it. I'm sure they were honest. I heard that's how I thought about that time when Hill was at Gilmore Grace singing that. So this is what we trying to consider, folks. We be messing around. I mean, the man hunting for us. Let's see what the man told us he's gonna do. He told us, you shall not call their mighty ones, nor serve them, nor do
according to their deeds.
You tell me we ain't been doing according to what these people do. That's why they go, come on, we don't do according to what these people do. So we can fit in. A lot of stuff we can't do what these people do. Let me tell you something, there got to be a line drawn on what we can do and what we can't do. The man said, don't even do after their deeds. Because a lot of this stuff, he told you, be not deceived. Evil communication does what?
Corrupt good manners.
Await the Sadiq. For some, have not the knowledge of Elohim. See that when you have the knowledge of Elohim, it's certain things we already know not to do. But when you don't have the knowledge, how you know? You know when you know after you get caught in it. How long he gonna allow you to keep getting caught in stuff? Oh, I didn't know that was wrong. No, he gonna let you get in something wrong. That's where you gonna moot at. So that's why we got to go back now over this and start looking at stuff, trying to make sure, do we see, have we been in line or have we been off? He said, no, don't even do after their deeds. Come on.
But you shall utterly overthrow them, and shall surely break down their sacred pillars.
Now, see, he was telling them about when he was going to bring them into the land. Now, go ahead and touch these people's stuff out here. This ain't the land. I'm going to help jump on you. See, this is how they mess up. What they just heard? What you heard? Go ahead and tell the truth. What did you hear? When I go to work Monday, I'm going to tear them people's stuff up. I know what you heard. I know what you heard. He's telling them what to do when they get there, because you're going to possess it. That means, you know how many folks out here tearing up folks' stuff? He looking at it, what you doing, nigga? This ain't your land. When he told them, they weren't going through everybody's land tearing up their stuff. This was the play. He just told them what they said. You should not worship their mighty one, nor serve them, nor do according to their deed, but you shall utterly overthrow them, and you shall break down their sacred pillars. Come on back up. Come back up. 23. For my Malaky shall go before you and bring you into the Auryah of the Amorites, of the Chittites, the Perizzites, the Canaanites, and the Chittites, and the Jebusites, so they call it Jebusites, and I shall completely, and I shall, 24. Next verse. You shall not shakar their mighty ones, nor serve them, nor do according to their, but you shall overthrow and shall surely break down their. We didn't work it together with him. Because he just told us I is singular. He said I. Now he just came along and told you to do something. So we can say like Yahuah said, 2 Corinthians 6:1, we didn't work it together with him. I'll kill them, you tear their stuff up. Now, I mean, folks out here on a rampant rampage tearing up stuff in America. Is this your land? Leave their stuff alone. Don't do after their deeds. This is a lot of folks out here. Let's be honest. How many of y'all, when you read, you thinking, we supposed to be tearing these people's stuff up? Because people been leading us on the tap. This ain't our place. This their stuff. You can't come in my house and tap and tell me I know God sent you in here. He should have gave you two behind, because I'm finna tear that one up. To know he sent you to me, he'd have gave you two booties. I'm finna tear that one up. How you gonna come in my house and tear up something? The man tell you where in the land where I'm gonna put you at. But see, we don't pay attention. You'll be out here on that rampage like a lot of them jokers on the street hollering, screaming at folk. Who are you trying to convince? Come this way, you black nigga. This the word. I was waiting to hear it. You gonna say, come here, you crackers. I'm trying to say you dirty cracker. I've been waiting to hear this word. People just need to stop it. A lot of these street people send them to jail. At least 99%. Until they learn how to listen. Honestly, street preaching ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. A lot of folks think they doing because they're hollering and screaming, they musty, head napping. Man, nobody gonna listen to you. Just stop it. Just stop it. A lot of stuff, man, that's appeal. When you're trying to get people to listen, they can say, people listen to me been listening, so people kind of grow with you and kind of understand where you at and where you're going. You kind of grow people. You're on the street, these people, you got a short period of time. You got to be skilled when you catching people's attention. We're trying to kill like radio. I did radio for years, television. You got to be skilled to hold people's attention, be able to get them across and get the catchy phrase that'll get them to listen to you. Boy, them guys say, you couldn't draw nothing. You couldn't draw a fly if you was a turd. They'll waste all there's a bunch of more folk with them than they gonna draw. And all them out there wasting time, they ain't got nothing to do. They out here trying to fight. How I'm trying to beat you up and say you at the same time? Where the logic? I'm gonna come. You don't want to? I'll fight you right now, nigga. I just see this being real valuable right now. I just see where people coming in droves. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But we just try to make sure we get it right. So come on. 25. Listen.
But you shall serve Yahuah your all, and he shall barak your lakam and your ma'im, and I shall remove sickness from your midst.
So if he gonna remove it, where's it been? So you got it. So now that's a motivation, Bryce, too, to get you to turn. Okay? Well, he's right. It's been in your midst. But guess what? So if you've been sick, Think about this. What he want me to listen? Hold on for a minute. Next, the verse we just moved from, 25. But you shall call Yahuah, serve, on the Abadim. Well, they put Abadim. They put you shall serve Yahuah your Elohim, and he shall barak your lakam, your bread, and your mayim, your water, and I shall remove sickness from your midst. And they only got sickness because they went away from him. They turned away from him. So now this was a motivation to get them now. So now this is something. Let me see that, dude. Let's see something. Let's see something. We'll work backwards. Let's look at 9 and 2, Yahuchanan. No, work backwards. Let's see this. 9 and 2. We'll try to move Yahuchanan, they call John. Then we call some people John who done lost the son. Not you, talking about some folk who done, because they put man supposed to have the John's son. But some people done, I know a man that lost the son. All right, come on. I put 9 and 2, 9 and 1. We'll work it out. Come on.
And his Talmudim asked him, saying,
So 9 and 1, that's 9 and 1. I put 2, don't work. 1 is what I want. Come on. 9 and 1.
And it came to pass, while passing through, he saw a Ish who was blind from the womb of his birth. And his Talmudim asked him, saying, Murray, who is the Katah, is it he or his parents, since he was born blind?
See that? They want to know about who's sin. Was it him or his parents since he was born blind? Come on.
Yahushua answered, neither he Katah, nor did his parents, but it was so that the works of Elohim may be revealed in him.
See that? It was so that the works of Elohim could be revealed to him. Let's see.
I must do the deeds of the one who shall lock me while it is still young. The Layla shall come when no one shall be able to work in it.
See that? Nobody be able to work in the work in it. They said night, but he said the day gonna come, nobody gonna be able to work in it. Come on.
While I am still in the Olam,
Tell them what it is.
I am the Auryah of the Olam.
Y'all see that? Which means he sent to make clear. Pay attention to what light, what did we say light was? That's all it means, to make clear, to manifest something. So there were some things we didn't see. That was the purpose of him coming. So although his skin was dark, he was still light. That's why people don't understand. He told you that even Kashah is light to him, because it still manifests something. Y'all got it? See, we didn't learn. See, you were given such a bad derivative about yourself, a bad connotation about yourself. You don't see that anytime you can make manifest the things, or you can make things clear, don't you know that's all, or that's all the light do? You walk, you can't hardly see what you do. Kind of light. Sometimes I cut on your phone, because what does it do? So if it's something you understand, if something is made more to your understanding, then we'll look at it as what? Auryah. That's why he could say, I am the Auryah. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Because I manifest, I make clear.
Yes, sir.
Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
That's all he's telling us, to manifest, okay? Come on.
And it came to pass, when he had spoken this, he spat upon the Adamah and made clay of the spittle and applied the clay on the of the blind Ish. He said to him, go wash in the pool of Siloach, which means Shalach. He went and washed and came back with seeing His Raya and those who saw that he was a blind before said, is not he that sits and asks for aha.
What they put for charity?
Sadak. Sadak. Yeah.
Sadaka. Okay. They call it charity. We don't use those. Greek. Go ahead.
Some said, this is he. Others said, but he is like him. He said, I am the one. They said to him, how were your open?
Yeah.
He answered and said, a Ish who is Yahuah, his Shem of Yahushua made clay and smeared it on my and said to me, go to the pool of Shiloah, and I went and washed, and my womb were open. They said to him, where is he? He said, I do not know. They brought the Ish who had previously been blind to the Parashim.
The separated.
The yum on which Yahushua had made the clay and opened his it was the yum of a Shabbat.
Yes.
The Parashim also asked him once more how his were open. He said to them, he placed clay on my and I washed them, and behold, I see. A few of the Parashim said, this Ish is not from Elohim, because he does not keep the Shabbat. Others said, how would a Kata Ish be able to do such act? And there was a dispute among them.
Yes.
Once more, they said to the blind Ish, what do you say of him, since he opened your And he said, he is a Nabi. The Yahudim did not amend that he had been blind, and his were enlightened until they yakra for the parents of the one who was healed. They asked them, saying, is this your Ben, whom you said was born blind?
Yeah.
How does he see now? His parents answered them and said, we know that this is our Ben, and that he was born blind. But we do not yada how he sees now, and we do not yada who opened his Is he not a knowledgeable Ben? Ask his pa, and he shall tell you what happened to him. His parents spoke like this due to their Yahuah of the Yahudim, since the Yahudim already determined to ostracize anyone who would admit that he is the Mashiach. For this reason, his parents said, he is a knowledgeable Ben, ask his pa. They asked the Ish, who had been blind a second time, they said to him, give kabul to Elohim. We know that this Ish is a Kata. He answered and said, if the Ish is a Kata, I do not yada. The one thing I yada is that I was blind, now I see. They said to him, what else did he do to you? How did he open your He answered them, I have already told you, did you not shama? Why do you want to shama it a second time? Do you also want to become his Talmudim? They became angry at him and said, you are his...
Look, I didn't see none of that what you read. I was saying, like, what in the world happened? Go ahead.
They became angry at him and said, you are his Talmudim. We are the Talmudim of Mushah. We yada that Elohim spoke to Mushah, but this one we do not yada where he is from. The Ish answered and said to them, this is a marvelous thing, that you do not yada where he is from, and yet he opened my Behold, we yada that it is not Kataim that Elohim Shama, but if one is who Yara Elohim and does his will, this is whom he Shama.
Okay.
From of old it has never been Shama that anyone opened the of one that born blind. If this Ish were not from Elohim, he would not be able to do anything. They answered and said unto him, look, you were born entirely in Kataim, and are you Lamed us? So they put him out. Yahusha was Shama that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said unto him, do you aman in the ben of Ish? He answered and said, who is he, my Adon, that I may aman in him? Yahushua said to him, look, you have seen him. Behold, he is the one speaking to you. And he said, my Adoni, I aman, and he shakah to him.
So the reason why we kind of went back over this and looked at it, it kind of works a little different. He talked about them keeping all that he said, about how they should shakah him and how he would take sickness from among them. So we can see how he started to show how things come in and activate. So we can see where some ailments and sicknesses come in among you, and it's not because of kata. Typically, we look at people being ill or people being struck down, it's because of things people done wrong. Like they went over examining then either the parents or either he himself. The only way we can get him to be counted with Qatar before he was born is to put him in the same state we put with Asu. That Yahuah hated him before he was even born. And the only way we know that because of the writings let us know it. He never told us that literally from his mouth. He had writers that let us know that I could have something against you from the day you were born. He told Abraham Yahusha that before he was formed in the womb, he said, I knew you. And he said, I made you a Nabah to the Gui, to the nation. Before he came in. He said, I had already ordained you to be a Nabah to the Gui, to the nation of Yehuda. So all these things that we set back, we're looking at how he come back, and now he's put him in his respect to do what? Shaphatym. Now he's getting to know who his Redeemer is, who his healer is. And these are the things we're trying to get. Get that type of knowledge from him so we can get this kind of, get the kind of evidence that we see him coming in your life, removing things from you. Some things he removed from could be a lot bigger. With us a blindness we had for being able to see and understand the word. For him, he had never seen his Redeemer, but yet his eyes beheld him then. He said he got to see him, he got to know it's him. And this is the same thing we trying to do. We're trying to get that relationship. Now, how grateful, how much admiration you think you had for him since he had been born blind all this time? Now the man opened his eyes. A lot. So you got to start looking at us why we don't have it. What about the thing we were clueless to, that we weren't privy to? And now he's allowing us to do it. We didn't understand the Torah like this. Man, you don't sit down and read no Torah. Nobody sit down and read no Torah like that. That's crazy. Read some verses from it and you keep going. First, let's go back and let's look this thing over and let's see where mistakes are being made. Let's see where we're faltering at. Let's see if our heart is in the right place. See, people like him, the woman who touched the hem of his garment, these people had a lot of admiration for him because they looked at what he did for them. Hey, y'all really went back over your life and thought in your life of the things that he actually delivered you from, you should have been cut off? A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. It's just for a moment. You say, man, I would be grateful he did that. He's done similar feats like this in your life. The fact you lived all up until a point in time and you had no clue about this way. You were comfortable going. This is like if he'd been blind all that time, what he knew about sight? What he knew about seeing? What he knew about depth of perception? None. Neither did you. Neither did I. Now he come along, now he give us this understanding. And he can't say, what are you looking at? Why? You thinking, wow, that's amazing. What about you? You couldn't see either. Now they said it had been read. They said it had never happened to nobody that opened no blind man's eyes before. Said it never happened before. Then the King James Version, it said it had never been said that if a man opened one of the eyes blind, that he had to be of Elohim. But here when they read it, didn't say that. They said it hadn't happened, nobody opened the eyes of the blind. So now we sit here and look at the sight he giving us now to be able to sit here and get an understanding. Allow us to be able to sit down and read this and look at it. So you can look at it, investigate it, and see. See if it makes sense. Because this is what we're doing. We have a lot of people reciting some Auryah words and people feeling a certain kind of way, getting emotional. Now y'all jump and go when dancing and when it's time to sing and play because you really ain't being restricted to have to do nothing. So don't think I'd be moved. I'm really not moved off a lot of things. But because we know we do it, I know what people at, they kind of like it is with children. Like Yahushua said, whom shall I liken you to? He said, like children sitting in the marketplace. Because we pipe, you won't dance. And then he said, we lament, you won't even lament. He said, but wisdom is justified of her benin. Because I look at where y'all should get excited at, and I am a proponent for when things are being sung, that they should make sure they're saying certain things as to make sure your mind is, make sure you're sparking that mind to make sure it's about him and going. And a lot of times y'all get caught up in the beats and y'all just kind of get going. I watch you. You don't listen to words a lot of time to make sure. That's why I listen. I want to know what you said. Because I can't jump and move and clap off everything, unlike the majority does. I really need to know what you're saying. I really need to get it. You be saying something, well, you know, it's kind of like, I'll be like, I'm questioning you for a reason. Because I don't want to have to do all that thinking you singing. I need to hear what you're saying and know what you said. Some stuff y'all say you got to try to figure it. It's a metaphor. I ain't asked you about all that. I want to know what you said. So I need you to be, the man that came here, we're going to be concise, direct and to the point. A lot of times I waste a lot of time saying a whole lot of stuff to go around somewhere, and I just try to figure out why. All we got to do is follow the pattern. Daoud was straight to the point. He stayed right down the middle. He'll stay right here in the book. A lot of stuff y'all saying you can't put in the book. They got too many other things you can't use. Hello? Yes, this is how we live. So when we putting out zamara, we got to make sure it's lined up the same way on how we live. And listen, I'm just being honest, we don't play too long. I don't know what to tell you. You don't play too long. We don't all play too much. Now we coming down to this the final point. You know what we like? We like them clowns. We down by 20 points, and there's 13 seconds left, and we don't call the timeout to try to go to. Nigga, is you serious? Take that ball and chunk that ball in that stand and go on there. Trying to hurry up and foul somebody and get the ball soon we hit foul. Are you serious? I really hate stuff like that. I'd rather just go and get on the ball and just quit. Ain't no time now trying to go, man, we just got to get in. We got to try to go, man, maybe hit a 3 and get a foul. Are you serious? Are you serious? You down by 20 points, I'm going to let you shoot. I'm going to let this clock run out on your behind. I'm not going to foul you. Forget you. You know what I'm saying? This is how we do. We at the last minute, you see you lose it, it's no way to win, and you trying to come up with these scheme plays. You should have scheme played before we got this far. You see what I'm saying? And now that's where we at. We're trying to scheme play and we're too far behind. And you've been knowing you behind. You've been dragging. So now we're at a point of you got to hurry up. We got to get this thing right. We can't afford to keep messing around. It's too much we don't know. We don't know. Now we got to go back over this stuff and start looking, start back from the scratch. Like I said, man, go back and do your first words over. You keep praying, saying, go back and do your first words over. Go look at this thing and see what you're doing. Because they ain't going to change it right here. You tell them, you say, what that say? Let's go back and read it so you can say, I've been saying this. That's what you find, you go back and read it. I've been saying this. Y'all hear that? I've been saying this the whole time before y'all were thought about. But everybody keep trying to find a quick crash course to get it and keep moving. It ain't no quick crash course. Everybody got to come through the same way, by the door. That's just being honest. No matter where you caught it at, you still got to come back in and start over with it. No matter where you catch that, you got to come back and look, because it's something you're missing. It's something you forgot. He said, you forgot the exaltation that's speaking unto you as unto Benin. He said, you forgot that. He said, my Benin. He said, despise not the chastening of Yahuah, neither faint when you rebuke. As soon as somebody get cut, get hit, what? I'm gone. You can't talk to me like that. Rest of them, they can be stupid, let them talk to him like that. That man told you don't despise the chasing of Yahuah. Why would you chase him? I don't feel like I was wrong, though. That's your problem. You self-correct. And that way you mess up at every time. Spell check done messed me up. It don't went throws where I went. He said, you ready? I said, I didn't want that word because they think it know everything. I know what I meant. I tried to put good, that thing put hood in. I said, I went back, I said, I know what I put in here. I don't know why you think you know more than me. I said, oh, you didn't want to say good. You meant to say hood. No, I didn't. I looked back and said, hood? I said, I didn't type that in there. Then spell check. And get what Yahuah look at it. He probably no doubt let it happen. So I said, that's what y'all do. You keep thinking you know what I want to say. That's not what I said. So now we had to go back and say, we looked and said, that's interesting. Because I thought he said, I know. When you go back, he said, and the reason why we go back, look, you know what you find? I've been saying this. I ain't just started saying, you just discovering it. You ain't going to believe it. I've been saying it. And like I said, it ain't been hid. It's been a matter of where you want to go because people want to get the quick crash. Go and get it so you can go ahead and get in. Got to come through and get it right. Let's see if we can just do quick quote. Let's see right quick. Say 24, Yahuah, Auryah, 24, 22. Auryah, they call it Luke. What time? I'm going to try to get y'all out of him. This turah thing going to be a reading. And we got a long way to go. And a short time to get there. But I tell you what I want to do. I want to make sure we get it right. That's the only reason we're doing it. Everybody want to follow out. Go ahead and leave. You ain't going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to talk about you. Why are you leaving? Who want to leave? We wear you out all the way out the door. Then I there forget about you. You're a quitter. We can't afford it, man. That's all we've been doing, quit. Listen.
But the Nashim, too, from among us have alarmed us, in that they rose early to go to the tomb in the morning. But they did not find his basar. Then they came and reported that they also saw a kazoon of Malaky, saying that he was Kai.
He was alive.
So, some Anashim with us went to the Kabar and found it just as Nashim had said.
Listen.
And they did not see him.
That way we can see if not we're on the right path. How about that? Listen.
He said to them,
What did he say?
Alas, you who lack knowledge.
Oh, what did they lack? What is lack? Depletion, scarcity, shortage, deficit. We can agree with all that? Shortage? Okay. They lack knowledge. What happened?
And slow of lob to
Slow to
Aman and all that the Nabaim have spoken.
How quick you gonna be to believe something you lack knowledge? I don't have no knowledge. I believe it. That tells me I don't know anything. I believe it. Why would I believe? I don't even know it. Why would I believe it? Think about it. What are he telling these people? You slow to believe. You don't have no. Why would I? I don't know it. Why am I believing something I don't know as soon as I hear it? Why? Why would I believe it? I don't even know it. He's telling what your problem is. You lack knowledge, so you slow to believe. Like what?
Was it not necessary for the Mashiach to bear all these things and to be brought into his kabul?
Let's see where you start at.
Then he began with Mushah.
I don't know why. He should have just went back over from the first day he met him. He should have went back to the 16th chapter of the book of Yahuah when he asked, who do men say that I am? And he told Cuff when he gave him the key that I'm going up, I'm going to be crucified in Jerusalem, and the third day I'm going to roll. That way he should have started at, because they're slow to believe it. Why are you going all the way back to Mushah? This makes no sense. Why is he going all the way back to the beginning? What else happened?
Then he began with Mushah and with all the Nabaim.
So let me get this straight. What that got to do with him getting up? He should have just went back over and explained, listen, quit acting stupid. You remember I told y'all that about a year and a half ago, 3 years ago, I told y'all what was going to happen? That's where you should have started at. Why are you going all the way back to Mushah? And why are we going through all the Nabaim? What happened?
And explained to them all the Ketubim that spoke about him.
He was trying to explain all of it, how we're talking about him. Because he could see why they didn't believe. He could see why they were slow to believe it. Who gonna be fast and quick to believe something I don't even know what you're talking about? How am I believe it? 24, 45, 44. Listen.
He said to them, these are the Dabarim which I spoke to you while I was still with you.
Like what?
For every Kitab about me shall surely be fulfilled in the Torah of Mushah and in the Nabaim and in the Tahalim.
Doing what?
Then he opened their lob to understand the Ketubim.
See that? We're trying to get that. That's why we're going back over this. Don't we want that? As he went back over it and he explained to them, he said, now I can open your understanding. This is equivalent to a man being born blind. You've been handling and doing something. You had a clue of what you've been doing. So now, unlike the people that look at the miracle, the eyes being open, how about I open your understanding and let you see something that you've been reared up in all your life? I've been talking to you for 3 years and you still ain't got it. Until I anoint your eyes with eye salve so you can see. You guys don't see it as critical as it really is, but you guys are going to the mosh pot. A lot of you won't make it. You need to know the truth. You won't make it. You're last minute people. You'll scrabble at the last minute to try to do something. You got to get serious before it get critical. You have to see your life dissolving and see yourself. I already know the end of this thing. Eventually you're going to fall into the hands of somebody. Something's going to happen to you. If you live long enough, you're going to have to fall in the hands of some people. If you don't, you're going to get cut off. Maybe in a wreck, maybe a gunshot, maybe a heart attack, maybe a stroke. Who knows? Maybe food poisoning. Maybe COVID might kill. You don't know. But he got all the tricks. It could be a tornado. It could be a snowstorm. It could be anything that he chooses. He can come at you. Well, you don't play with a man got that many weapons. Some people got to watch their feet as the kick. Some people got to watch their punch. With that man, you got to watch everything. And it's impossible. It's impossible for you to watch for everything he got. It's impossible. It's just too many ways he got that he can take us all out of him. So now we sit down and consider these things, look at where do I need to be? I want my knowledge to be, and I want our knowledge to be fruitful, where it can continue to grow. Y'all got it? A lot of us have stagnated because we have gotten ourselves so caught up with the cares of this alone. It's natural. I mean, you're living. Why wouldn't you want things? I want things. I work to buy myself things, but I want to make sure I keep my mind in a certain place to where things don't make me. Elohim word does. I appreciate the things he loaned me. And I learn when I get up, I always tell him, I appreciate the loaning of the mind. Being able to go, it's a loan. Because somebody ain't got it. Somebody got to be told what time of day it is. All day, at night. He loaned me that ability for now. But eventually, he look at, I got somebody else that need it. And he ain't asking because he need my permission. I'm just letting you know I'm taking it. I'm giving it to somebody else. So while we have this ability to be able to sit down to here, to be able to consider, just know these alone. I'll take it from you and give it to somebody else. It's an opportunity you had to sit here and to take it. Other people sat in these seats too now. Don't we remember how many other people been here? Because he had to come on whom he will. He had to come on whom he will. How long? But how long? That's all I got. How long he gonna be patient with us? All of us. How long he gonna be patient with us? Well, I'm growing. I'm changing little by little. How long? How long he gonna let your little be enough? Your lil's another form of procrastination. We got to get this stuff cleaned up quick. He told you about a young man who went out and he had made him a steward. And he told the man, he called him in, give account of your stewardship. And that man said he was resolved on what to do. He said, I can't beg, and I don't know how to work. So he ran quick to everybody that owed him, and he cut the bill. He realized, I got to get this done right now. I can't be toiling back and forth on nothing. I need it done now because I got to give account of my stewardship. That's y'all, nigga. Include me. Give account of your stewardship. And that'll send you to the lake of fire. Because you can't. You already know you haven't been doing. You've done a piss poor job. Now, what was it written for? To teach us, to show us, and to instruct us. So, what excuse is he going to allow you to use in your stewardship? You want to ask him, can I do like the man and run right quick? You're going to do like another man who's going to be in Sheol, whose tongue going to be hot, and he could just have something just cool his tongue. You'll be like that man. But every one of us in here have an opportunity to sit down and listen, to make decisions. Let me tell you something. You would be surprised, though. People can become comfortable doing something, and they're really not doing it for the right reason. They're really not. You'd be surprised. People have real conversation with their spouses. You'll see where they hear that. A lot of people don't hear what you hear. You assume because you're together. Same thing with kids. It's important to go with kids. Kids going to do what kids do. They're going to lie. They're going to steal. They're going to cover up for things. Send a child. You know what the book said was wound up in the heart of a child? Foolishness. What to get it out of them? Talking. He said that rod will drive it far from them. And guess what we're going to do? I want to be a talking parent. My daddy used to whoop me. And I know talking would have made a world of difference. The man had already put down a protocol what's in the heart of a child. He said that rod is going to drive from him. But it just seems so inhumane. It's like beating an animal. The rod of correction will drive it far from him. That's what the man told him. I try to use a different method. Today in society, We've grown. Back then, man was caveman. Man a caveman now. The man had given us the plan on what to use. He said a rod will drive it far from him. What we do here one time, it ain't working. I got to keep correcting you, because I got to take him at their word. The rod of correction will drive it far from you. Now, I'm going to show you who's going to break first. Elohim word cannot be broken. You're going to break. You're going to break. You got to break, because I'm going to hold him to his word. He said that rod will drive it far from you. That's my goal, to make you separate from your kataim. Hello? Okay. I'm just trying to help us see. These are things, y'all don't want to talk about stuff like this. See, we're going to raise up piss poor kids because we got piss poor adults that don't want to look at how important salvation is over education. Salvation reigns over anything else we can do. We try to teach them in here, take what they learn here to teach them, so you learn the words, you learn the vocabulary, you learn the different things. I want to get you in here, use your math and let you see, don't just add up. And then I want to teach you how to rightly divide. Hello? They're going to need to know mathematics. You got to know, and then they need to know when not to add and when not to subtract. Hello? That's just being honest. We got to start to teach them. So we're going to take what they learn in school and we're going to transfer it to teach them how to use it here. Y'all got it? You're going to need some knowledge. It makes no sense for you to be a stupid fool. Make no sense for us to be no stupid fool, not when knowledge being given. Y'all in the place where you can ask questions. Y'all in a place where we can look at the word, let's see what it means. It ain't gonna hurt nobody, let's look and see what it means. How that's gonna hurt you? That should give me better understanding. Now I really understand what he wants me to do versus me assuming and keep praying these stupid questions. What you want me to do? I is so confused. He said, I don't know how. Don't you have a raw? Don't y'all use the Sefer? You shouldn't be. The problem is us. We the problem. So we'll be making changes to make sure we go over this thing and get it right. That's all I care about at the end of the day. I don't care about what nobody else want to do. I care about, I got to make sure I get y'all to the market. That's it. It's like had them on a cattle drop. They just trying to get them to the market. Y'all got me? I got to get y'all to the market. That's bottom line. Everybody who's supposed to be raw and be shepherding these people, you better make sure you got these people ready to go to the market. And when they get to the market, that man, you have to inspect them. They used to come out and inspect them. They look through them. Like, what do you want to check it for? He said, I want to see what I'm buying. See, y'all got to remember, Yahushua paid the price. So he's looking at, I'm trying to make sure I ain't getting jilted. Yeah. I know what I paid for. So I know what I'm supposed to be getting. I just hand me some of those sacks that clothes. Man, open that sack, let me check this stuff. Oh, you don't trust nobody? I need to check it. I need to examine it just like the Kohan did. I need to check it. I got to make sure it meet the specs and the codes and the mandates. Everything you got specs and code mandate. Women dressing, modest apparel. I seen the split pop in one. The mothers let daughters start looking at them. And nobody look at it now. Why? I just sat back and watch. I said, I blame them. You got to check. You can't let kids make no decision. Y'all do too much. You got to sit and watch before they leave home. Let me see you. Let me check you. Make sure their drawers ain't on backward. I know that everybody getting running now. Everybody too busy. They going. Take enough time. Make sure your kid's breath ain't stinking. Go get a dog. Let them blow in their face. The dog die. Come get in there and pour gas in your mouth. That's it. Go buy a puppy. Let them blow in that puppy face. That puppy fall out and die. Make them go in there and wash their mouth out with gas. They gonna clean it up. I'm just telling you, I know y'all don't. Y'all just let them, come on. No, you got to examine. Look at your nappy head. Get your behind now before they leave. And all that comb, all that, they got no whole makeup kit in no car. Do that junk before you leave. I'm old school. Never seen no foolishness like that. See, women walking stupid down here, riding down the street, doing their hair, got a mirror, makeup kit on the steering wheel. Just retarded. Sleep so late, gonna make themselves up while they drive. Just retarded. You supposed to have yourself together before you leave home. That's just lazy. Now make sure these kids know. They come to present yourself before Yahuah looking like a nasty rat. Musty. Check them kids. Get in here. Get your stinking behind in there. We teach them before they hit the street. Y'all, all y'all do is make them piss poor adults. Now look around the stool, draw backward. And got one that got their socks on for draws. Gotta check them. Can't leave this stuff in no kid hand. Gotta wait till they get old number 2 and not take care of themselves. Kid go and throw some clean cold, be stinking like these grown niggas around here do. Gotta teach them how to conduct this, how to clean themselves. He told you to train them up in the way they should go so they old, they won't depart. Why do you think these kids piss poor in the street today? Because nobody ain't trained them up. Gotta train these girls up. You got a little girl, you gotta train her. You got a fish. You see this here? This a fish. Not that between your legs. Now get in there and wash it. You get you a mullet, have it out, let them smell it. Let it get sour. You smell it, that's what your legs smell like. Wow! Slap them, get your behind there and take a bath. Slap the piss out of them with it. Oh, it hurt them. That's how you got to teach them. Let me tell you something. They would get it. Don't y'all remember girls in the school and everybody laugh about them stinking, smell like fish? How many of y'all women remember that? Raise your hand. They used to be real cute for them, didn't it? Hurt the fish. What? So what I'm saying, what's wrong with what I'm saying about teaching before they leave there? Check up. This stuff they need to know. A lot of them don't know. Everybody keep assuming. Folks don't know that you teach them. You got to get in there and watch that mullet. All right. All them cats scratching on that glass. I feel like, why all these cats at your room? So got tigers out there scratching on the glass. They pull stuff all out of Asia. Oh, good and well, y'all got to teach them about that. Stand up on that arm. Wash up on them titties. Don't go there and just wash that top part of that titty. Man, you lift that thing up there, boy, it's a muskrat up on that thing. Lift that titty, just jump out at you. They got to know about that, man. You get that little roll, got them little roll up on that titty. You got to lift that titty up and wash it. You don't want to talk about that. Now it's all new now. I got to teach, man, yeah, one got to know how to clean herself. Get the right little product, wash yourself up, keep yourself clean, keep yourself presentable, teach these young women. And same thing I be taught these young men. Same thing I be taught to teach them, the same thing, how to keep yourself up, keep yourself presentable. You go out there, you projecting an image. You can't afford to set no piss poor image out there. Y'all got it? Hello? Yes, sir. Now, yes, a man supposed to be musty. When he working, he supposed to be musty before he start. How you come musty? He supposed to put on dirty clothes. Man, don't go through no dirty clothes to put on no clothes. That's retarded. That thing feel guilty. That stuff you got teeth for, you don't do nothing. You don't go on no dirty clothes having to put on no clothes. So they just some clothes. That's just nasty. Oh, put no drawers on. They already got the leg hole print, all got the peanut printing before you put them on. Man, you know good on some old drawers. Get your steak behind that, put on some fresh drawers. Drawers already stiffed up, sitting there with them, already got the mud slide in it. No good to them all my drawers like this. You need to wash them. No, I wouldn't burn them. We already got enough stuff in the ozone out here. No, please don't burn them drawers. Throw them away. All this toxic stuff, go ahead and train flipped over. But it's the truth, though. Y'all need this stuff. All right, folks, let me tell you something. I know, but did it help y'all be honest? I'll sit here and that stuff you don't do, you get there behind, set them up, line them up. Let me look through your behind before you leave here. Get your behind there. You trying to train up people that's going to be out here in society. That's why the world's so filthy and nasty now, because nobody ain't trained these people. They just loose them out here on us. They got the education, they got the financial sense, but they don't have the human sense. There's things you need to know as being a human being. How to conduct, how to keep yourself clean. They can't see you have to clean yourself. That Kohan can't tell him, he said, man, wash your flesh. Can't get your stinking behind him come and appear before me. That man had to wash his flesh and change his clothes. He wouldn't let that man come. If Yahuah had that, what I'm going to do? That man couldn't go in there. He said, man, change your clothes before you come in here. That's the same thing Jacob did with his mitzvah called his family. He made them wash their clothes before they went in. He said, change your garment. Wash your flesh and change your garments. So we're going to the Beth Elohim. So if they did that, what's wrong with us? Oh, that tight. Listen, all these washings, we call immersions, it set them up on a principle of understanding that Yahuah desired things to be clean. He desired things to be right. I know you're looking at, there were some people that put more emphasis on that, but their laws were filthy. So he was trying to encompass both ends. Typically when people understand Ruach, you got to understand the physical. You got it? We had to understand the physical. Elohim being a Ruach, we don't understand a Ruach being born out of a Ruach. So he made him a man. He begot him a man. He said, this is what a father does. He is a begotter. He put a seed into the ground, just like a farmer. Husbandman, they would use the terminology. So we understood that he was a father simply because he had a son. Y'all got it? That son came down and he gave everything over to this son, letting us know that that son became an inheritor. That son had some of the same protocol ideas he had. And he instilled the values that he had, from the Shabbat to the keeping of the Torah. You shall not do. This you shall do. He understood these things. And when the son violated, he understood we cut ties. You guys, kid violate, still my baby, don't matter no matter what you do. You could burn the damn world down. You still my child. You ain't my child. You forget it. Let me tell you something. Everybody got stipulation with all of us. Y'all got it? We do too. It's Elohim or nothing. Y'all got it? We can't afford to let these kids get too far gone and try to reel them back in. We got to teach them right now. He said, train them up in the way they should go. So they want to depart. I know folks like, well, how do these kids get on? You got to stay on them. He told them what's in their heart. So what I got to do, I'm going to stay on them, I'm going to beat your behind. That's bottom. I'm going to have to listen, train and whoop. Train and whoop. Train and whoop. That's what I'm doing. Train and whoop you till you get it right. You start getting it. Your behind get tired. You start catching on. There's a lot of stuff I remember now my daddy told me. That like you couldn't remember it. Like, and you know what? It all makes sense. And that's like all the whooping paid off. Folks might think, hey, you do that, they ain't going to do nothing. It pay off. How many of y'all, your parents tell you a bunch of stuff, you go back in your mind and you think about it, some stuff you think about, you realize, you say, you know what? It wasn't bad as I was thinking. Back then you hate them to death then. You want them dead, all that stuff. You go and you look at it, you say, I appreciate that. That's how now I understood. But look what it took. It take a then what? Whipping, correcting, fussing at them, mothers and fathers, going out here, you hitting your head, you realize, guess what? They weren't done trying to help me. They saw folk around them and that. Anybody, he'll keep what he said. I want my yard. He's like, I gotta go tell that boy, they gotta get out my yard. They go somewhere. We're gonna go somewhere. I just walk them somewhere else. I ain't gonna tell them, I'm just getting him out their yard. Make sure you can't get him. My dad back home, you gotta go. He don't even want you in the yard. That bottom line. But see, guess what? All them folk he told me about, ain't none of them folk did nothing. I'm telling you, they ain't did nothing with their life. He could spot them right. He was older. My dad had me with 42, so like he already played all that game. He was done. The playing hearing grader was old with. I got a hearing grader. I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work, come back and feed that dog. I'll kill you. I wound up getting an I kill you hearing grader. You know what I'm saying? It probably was a real good hearing grader for the one I got. The one I got was the I kill you. 42 when he had me. So by the time I come, he was in his 50s. I'll kill you. That's all he wants you to know every time. I'll kill you. Anybody had a dad like that? Anybody had a parent that Billy let you know he'll kill you? I don't know why they need to recite it so much. But you know what? Didn't it work? We knew not to try him, didn't it? Huh? You knew it, didn't it? But guess what I'm saying? They want to instill that in you. I'll kill you. He want to make sure I understood that. I'll kill you. And his thing was, I'll kill you dead. So you trying to put that together, kill me dead. That's pretty serious right there. When a man kill you dead, you say that's pretty serious. Ain't that right? Well, that's like what they probably would say, one of them double entendres. I will kill you dead. So you thinking, I probably want, what you do to man until I kill you dead? You like, they're pretty serious right here. But he wanted to get across, I mean what I say. And Yahuah want to do the same thing. That's why he's taking out all these people. That's why so much happening. He's trying to show you, I will kill you dead. What are you doing? And we don't believe him. Although he did all these works around him, we still tend to play around, still tend to gamble. I want us to do this tonight, you know, y'all will. I'm trying to meditate on, just think about everything you got. How much you love it, what you got in it. And if he needs you to separate from it, what will you do? Husband, why would you have a real conversation with them? I've been honest. I talked to mine, and she like she can't catch on and she can't get it. I've been with her. I had to part ways. That's just where I'm at. I don't need nothing to hold me back. My kids, they don't want. My boy, they stick with me pretty close. They'll stab me in my back. I hear when I watch a song. All right, look at Bryce. You ain't say nothing against. You ain't say nothing against me. Did you say anything about Jahi talking about his man? I mean, I'm asking. Kid him. They're too late now. So now, I want to consider that really. And you gotta put your mind really around what you do to be saved. I mean, what you'll do, what you'll separate from, because a lot of stuff we hold on to, it keep you from being saved. Don't think because y'all be immersed here, I won't get rid of you. I will get rid of you. How many of y'all believe me when I say that? Y'all believe me for what reason? I mean, sure, I'm not thinking that no say, see, I get rid of myself now. I feel like I can't do it. Ain't nothing holding that thing up. It's serious. Okay. That's serious. Listen, nobody get no free ride me either. This ain't my thing, it's Yahuah thing. All I want to do is make sure all of us got to fear this man. And I want to apologize if it hadn't been done. It's because I made us feel like we don't have to give this man everything belonging to him. I want to apologize to man, because that's sin. You can't do that. Everything that man told to do, we got to do it. All this turah, we got to do it, and our kids. Y'all hear me? And our kids, they got to do it. Ain't no way around it. You ain't got no choice. Everybody got to do this. When you get grown, get age, you go to the street, do whatever you want to do. I guarantee where you'll do it at, you're going to be doing it out there, not him. Because Mr. Yahuah got away that real right, and we're going to make sure we do it. I'm trying to tell you now, a lot of folks want to be saved. I'm telling you, when they come down the rubber heat the road, and they man tell you, this got to be done. When I say tell you, it happened. That's how he'll tell you, it happened. Now you dealing with it. You got to rattle your mind around that and hear the word. And you struggling your mind with the word and that, you see, you ain't going to make it. Because it's the word, and you trying to wrap your mind, it didn't happen. It done throw me off. I'm trying to get myself together. I can't give you too long. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you. You got to be that instant. You got to be that instant to where the hurt there, man, I got to be saved. Anything that man going to do, if we doing what we supposed to do, whatever you lose, whatever you gain, it's going to be to your benefit. You ain't going to lose nothing. It's going to be, listen, I guarantee you ain't going to lose nothing. It's going to be to your benefit if you're doing what you're supposed to do. The question becomes, if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, yeah, it's going to be a problem. That's for everybody. Y'all got it? So I'll make sure now. Make sure that's where your head at. Make sure you got it. Y'all got it? All right, I'm just making sure, because this is what we're going to be doing. Yahuah see fit. Shabbat. We'll come in, we're going to start going back through, look at the tour, just kind of go back through, look. I just want to make sure that we ain't in violation before it's too late. That's the only thing about it, man. That we not in violation. Because you can't afford to meet this man, include me, and be wrong. That ain't the man you want to meet, and I was really trying. I was honest. That stuff all fine and well for a time period. It's time for you to be real honest, and let's do and find out what the man said and make sure we're doing it. Y'all got it? That's two.